Yeah. Okay. I'll put that. Okay. It's receiving the. Okay, good. Okay, we're up. But oh, I am live. Okay. Well, people can hear it. 100% smooth.
Going
Still working on those. Here, wait, where am I? I'm gonna switch the couch cam. Once again we got 2 cams. What up? What up? We're here. We're in DC.
Yes, sir.
We're getting ready for the Illini game. Nate is getting some cider. We're trying to set up the NBA Jam. I need to find out if I need to get a driver for the PS3 controller. But yeah.
Let's get some hearts going in the chat.
Yeah, lots of hearts.
Lots of hearts. And lots of suggestions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have to do the tornado beer chug today.
Right.
I have not practiced it.
Neither have I.
Specifically for the content.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, failure is part of this experiment, and without failure, then we don't have anything really.
Are we live?
Yes,
we're live. Here, wait. Let me switch back to the couch cam. There's Nathan.
Hello, friends. We have
The
some
camera's
Basque.
here. Here, let me move
There's some
there
Basque
we go.
cider
That's
to start
better.
off the morning.
Yeah.
It is a product of Spain. Specifically,
Basque
the
Country is not Spain. It is
As for now,
independent.
it is. As of right now, technically it is.
Oh, yeah. The Basque might have.
Let me just open up this classy bottle with a bottle opener.
Please allow ads. I will not allow. Buy ad removal pass. I will never do that.
I will never remove that. These people worked hard to make.
That's why you got
those. Find your nearest local single in your area, and their work will not go unrewarded.
That's why at home I block them on the router level because so I can read the New York Times for free for the rest of my life, but only at my home.
But only in my home. I think that's fair. As long as it's just in
It
your
says
home.
it should work.
What the?
Yeah.
This is going well.
I'm having a hard time opening this stuff.
Jesus Christ. It's like a plastic cork. You gotta put some force into it.
I don't want to crush it.
I've
seen these corks break.
We might not be able to play each other. I think we're screwed. I should have maybe done this like with the week I didn't do anything.
Look, it's fine. You know, like, this is all part of the process.
Yeah.
We're learning.
We have
together.
the latest update to NBA Jam where you can play Super Nintendo versions of LeBron James on the Lakers. And I was originally claiming to be so ambitious to say I was going to dust off my assembly programming skills and program in the current lineups of the Illini and Maryland, but I can't remember how to do fucking. I can't remember how to add things by 8. I can't remember my powers of 2 anymore, and I don't remember. I can't remember what number. I can't remember what number A is. So I was screwed.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I just program fucking web apps, and I forgot all the hard things immediately. That's what programming is supposed to be about. Is about not working very hard. That's what I thought.
Well, since we're live and I'm here, I might as well say the traditional. It's good to be back on the show. It's a good time. I had fun last time. We had a good conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
It felt very comfortable.
I think we talked about Kevin Durant being being just as brazen with his SpawnCon as LeBron, but half as charming about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's about right. I mean, a perfect example of that is, I don't know if you follow LeBron James on Instagram, but he recently, so there was this, I don't want to say controversy, just that Utah Jazz commentators were, success, all right, we got the cork out. They were upset, or they weren't too happy about the fact that LeBron James was like cheering his teammates on the court.
Shoeless.
Yeah, shoeless, right?
Oh,
so, like,
yeah.
He was freaking out, right? And like normally, like if he had just left it, right? Most people would have seen these are just some indignant assholes who are calling the Utah Jazz. You know, they're just being salty. Move on. It's no big deal. Like the people who hate LeBron will hate LeBron and so on and so forth. But LeBron decided to make a post about it, and I think it is bar none one of the corniest things I've ever read in my life. Just because of how like self-promoting it is, as we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's all about SpawnCon. and I don't have any. Actually, do you mind looking it up, or are you?
Yeah. No, here I'm just posting.
Go on LeBron's Instagram page.
LeBron.
Because right now it's
Instagram. Yeah, dude, what the fuck is up with DC's fucking networks? Like, my GPS kept fucking flying out.
If I had an answer, I would be sure to tell you. But all right, so it's that one in the middle of the top row.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. All right.
Hey, wait, let me get a little screen capture going.
Yeah, do that.
Wait. I can whip one up real quick.
Wow, we have so much technology. It's so
I know.
It's important that the people see this.
The thing is, I can't. Oh, it's window capture. I'm like, I can't remember if it's. Anyways, nobody cares.
All right. So
window. This one. Okay.
The big thing about it is that somebody who posts like this, and people are probably seeing me swat at a fly. The thing is, everybody has a Facebook friend from back home that posts this kind of like very wow fake friends or like this very like dumb way of posting. You know, it's the way that like I'm the protagonist of life. But the thing is, they're not LeBron James, and he can get away with this.
Yeah.
Are we still trying to capture? Or are we just
I think I got it. Maybe it's a white screen, so we'll see. We'll see what happens when it pops up. You let me know if you guys just let me know if you can't see anything. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to, but
it's fun.
Good night game with Memphis. Inside Tony, blocked by Kuzma, got it back. Big fella turns in a crowd, continues to fight, blocked again. Look at LeBron, he's on the court. With no shoes, mind you. What is going on there? That's some disrespect right there.
So
please.
And then LeBron onto the court.
Like
no shoes on.
Yeah, he's giving his shoes away to a fan behind the Laker bench.
So if you scroll up on the comments, you'll see the original caption.
Oh, yeah.
And Adam, do you want to read that for us?
Yeah. Imagine doing your job at the highest level where you're not needed anymore, giving your shoes to a little girl and boy who you inspire and hoped you made proud that night, then cheering on your teammates because you love seeing them succeed more than yourself, only to be criticized while doing it. People, it's the world we live in, and you can't let it ever stop you from your purpose in life. Negativity, bad energy, the haters, the losers, envy, etc., will try to bring you down throughout your journey, and it's up to you on how you handle it. I handle it by simply saying thank you with a smile emoji on his face and continue to push forward while doing it. Live, laugh, love, prayers up, heart, king.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a fucking Catherine Calloway.
Right. So you take a caption like that, and any other person in the world, not just like in the NBA, not just any person who plays basketball, or like just anyone post that caption, they're the most insufferable human beings on the planet. And some people think that about LeBron. But in this case, because he is, in my opinion, the greatest player to ever play in the NBA, he gets away with it. He can just post that kind of stuff, and nobody ever regards LeBron. Like, as openly as they do for Kevin Durant, they consider him a corny guy. I mean, if we thought about it, we sat down, it's like, yeah, you would agree. LeBron's a corny dude. But immediately, you think, who are the corniest players in the NBA? Kevin Durant comes first. Kyrie Irving is probably going to come first. Probably, like, Draymond. You know,
I don't
all
know if I put Kyrie as corny. Kyrie is almost
Well,
a category of like within
he's
himself.
been like kind of like the haters and the losers are bringing me down, and like, you know.
Yeah, his post on Instagram is
Kyrie's like the haters and losers bringing me down. I hate when they shapeshift into the haters. I hate when the mole lizard people shapeshift.
It's definitely keep your third eye open kind of
guy.
Though I will say, any reporter who tries to posture as this whole like, oh, Kyrie Irving needs to be here so he can speak to the media. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
No player needs to be anywhere. You all should be grateful that anyone wants to talk, like a player wants to talk to you, to be perfectly honest. Like, I get it. Like, I've never been a professional athlete. I mean, obviously, you could probably tell that. And I've never been really a person that people want to actively interview and speak to. But I can imagine if you've been that person for your entire life, and like people get a little bit annoyed that you're not doing this thing that you've been forced to do your entire life, you would fight back. And I would too.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm setting up
Be
the
a good
jam.
reporter.
If someone wants to play the jam, we could. You could.
Sure.
It looks like it's.
And also, I mean, as someone who, totally impartial here, someone who has lost a fair bit of money in the last few weeks, betting the under on Jazz games while their defense has gone to absolute dog shit. Good for LeBron.
Yeah.
That's what you get. That's what you get when I lose money on your games. Is you get no defense from me.
None.
Be better.
As it
Be
should be.
clap better. Clap Jazz.
There we go.
They've been playing like dog shit.
They found a way to make one of like the hardest working players in the NBA just look
Conley?
just look so pedestrian. That bums me out so much because this could have been his breakout year. He could have been the star.
Yeah.
Because Donovan Mitchell, he's good, but he's still like the guy who just kind of chucks stuff up. He's basically last year's Jason Tatum, but still continuing to.
Someone brought this up where they're like, at this point we can just say it's Utah. We can say it's Utah's system because it's like Ricky Rubio was like the laughing stock. He was in kind of a punchline of the league, and we're like, Ricky Rubio, he signs with the Suns in this last offseason.
Right.
We go like, what the fuck are you doing? Trying to contend in the Western Conference, sign Ricky Rubio? Ricky Rubio is tearing shit up with the Suns, and then eventually it's like, oh, maybe it's the Jazz. Maybe the Jazz kill point guards.
Quinn Snyder is the problem.
Dude, could there be a better name?
You heard it here first. Quinn Snyder's on the hot. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. No, don't switch. It's fine.
I'm switching.
All
What
right.
was
You
that?
heard it here first. Quinn Snyder is on the hot seat. Yeah, we have no sources.
Could there be a more perfectly named coach for the Utah Jazz though than Quinn Snyder?
Quinn Snyder is a very Utah name. I would say
yeah.
it's up there. I mean, let's see. Yeah, because most other coaches they don't really. I think Doc Rivers for an LA team fits really well. And that's pretty much.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna go grab my jacket. I got a match.
You know who the Pelicans have to hire in that case? Pelicans need to fire Gentry, get his ass out of there because he's no good. No, Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau for the Pels.
Thibodeau for the Pels.
Here's
I think I did a Baltimore accent there. Thibodeau.
Yeah. So my girlfriend thinks I do a horrific Baltimore accent. And I gotta like, okay, so here we go.
All right, I got to hear this.
And you get to judge whether it's good.
That's fair.
Yo, I gotta center it by saying yo. Yo, I love to go from Glen Burnie to Baltimore on Tuesdays.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's pretty solid. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta make a little bit more of the ew whenever like on Tuesdays. You need to use the ew a little bit more. But actually, you can't hold it too long. It's basically you have to use it. You have to use the energy as if you're gonna hold it real long, but use it in the short burst. So like T, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, you ever go to Fadley's?
Yeah.
Fadley's?
There was
Fadley's.
I'm not.
It's amazing. Go to Fadley's in Baltimore. Best crab cake you'll ever have in your life.
Hey, no free advertising. They're not paying us.
Are they?
Are they? I paid them.
All right, Nathan. Did you want to play some jam? Did you want to?
Yeah.
Let's switch me spots. We can get you on.
We can only do one person jam.
Yeah, I can't figure out the fucking drivers. I'm sorry, guys.
Did you explain?
You could show the video of it.
Yeah, no, it's on there. Yeah.
I was wondering if y'all want to explain the jackets, or if y'all have explained the jackets.
Oh yeah. So the jackets, you may remember.
Well, what are we doing today? First of all,
what are we doing? Oh, we're going to go watch the Illini once again defeat Maryland, the hated Maryland. That there are no.
Which one am I?
The Xbox one.
I'm hitting start, but nothing.
Yeah, because I have to turn it on for you.
Oh, nice.
We are going to Maryland.
yes,
Go
sir.
watch the game because
OCP.
we're allowing Gabe to come into inferior Maryland.
I don't co-sign any of this.
NBA Jam!
But he. Oh wait, did I switch it? Oh, I didn't switch it yet. Here. There we go. There we go. Okay. But we wore these jackets last year.
Now I can't control anything.
Oh, because I'm not in it.
Join us.
What is KRM? Kratom.
I'm noticing a theme on this show.
Is it college?
No, that one doesn't have college. Oh, it has like the updated. I can't remember how he said it. It was like doesn't have the new people, but it has better people for NBA tournaments, such as Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
It has Jordan on the Bulls.
I think the guy who was
Yeah, it was.
You got any Illini players in Orlando?
Seattle will have like on the. Yeah, you have to go to the.
How do you switch the alternative?
The original has.
Kenny Anderson.
Oh yeah, that's
Did
good.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
not for saying.
But I'm
It was on
playing.
the flying line. The flying line, I had like a decent amount of like contributing NBA players.
Really, that's all you can ask.
That's pretty much the last team we had. I mean,
Showtime!
even 2005 only really had Darren Williams.
Let's figure out the buttons on the fly here, folks.
Versus Maverick.
We're facing the trash ass Mavs, so we got this.
Who's that on the Mavs?
I don't even know.
Who's that dude with the mustache? Is it Ron Harper? Was he ever on the Mavs?
Yeah, it looks like Ron
turnover!
Harper and what is that
No.
last name?
So A is shoot. Okay.
So if anyone has any idea how to pronounce that, please let us know.
The
trying to
turbo
avoid
is probably the right bumper.
I'm betting.
It's the right bumper. The bumper.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Shoot it, jack it.
I was trying to figure out what pass. I wanted to pass Shaq there.
Don't do it as your co-host. Jack.
What? But yeah, so we wore the jackets. They won. They won in Madison Square Garden.
They
Actually,
did.
that was when you were on the show. You were on the show like a week after that.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
shortly
there we go.
afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
There we
frustration
go.
with Maryland in a nutshell. The idea that a lot of people are watching them perform on a big stage, and then they just absolutely shit the bed. Just because what's great about Mark Turgeon is that he can bring a lot of talented players, especially local talented players, into the team. The downside is that he doesn't know how to teach them how to play basketball, really. Because he's like, oh, you already know, you can figure it out. And I think, if I had to guess, that's part of his recruiting pitch. You can come to Maryland and you can do whatever you want, or you can go to Duke or like UNC, and you have to, or like what's another good example? Was Huggy Bear Stars in West Virginia? You know, like you have to play within a system. You're forced to mold into that system. But here you can be the free-forming player and be yourself. Now, the thing is, normally that's a recruiting pitch. It's a good pitch.
Yeah.
The player ends up making it into the NBA and increasing his draft stock. So I don't think that's gonna keep its muster. It's
Why you hit the 3-point line, Shaq? Go!
Well, the thing is that he does, to be fair, get a lot of NBA talent, and somehow didn't make the tournament with like 3 NBA players.
Well, to be fair, again, I'll make this argument. Bruno Fernando. I love Bruno Fernando. He is
bad.
He is not somebody you would want
So messy
in a modern NBA team.
Yeah.
Maybe in the 90s. He's a large, strong dude.
Yeah.
Not now. He has no outside. He has no outside game.
Yeah.
Jalen Smith, I feel like, is a better prospect.
Yeah, I would say so too. Just like how Jake Layman, out of the entire team that made the Sweet 16, is the only one with like a decent NBA career right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruno, I felt bad making fun of him because he basically like learned to basketball at 17 years old, but he did suck ass. He was dude. Where is he?
He is on the Hawks D-League team. I'm not saying we're not giving free sponsorship to Gatorade.
The G League.
It's the D-League, man.
Push his ass.
That's what it is.
Nate, you're tied up. You gotta shoot the. You gotta use Kenny. Why are you passing out? You had a shot.
Because I'm still trying to figure out the buttons, to be honest.
You had a whole quarter.
Backseat coaching is terrible.
I'm gonna be Brad. I'm gonna fucking snap the fucking. What do you think? What are the odds on Brad snapping the clipboard today? Nate, what do you think?
2-1. I don't know.
I can't believe you didn't snap the fucking clipboard. Dude, in the last time out, so when Illinois lost to Miami this Monday, which you kind of saw the end of if you watched the stream, you would, Brad called his last time out with like 4 minutes left in the fucking first half.
Great.
And he literally called a timeout and was sitting in a chair like this, like Like, it was just so incredible. Like, he's just like, he looked just like gassed. Like, he's just like, I don't even know. I'm not even. Take
I'm
the
sick of
hole,
everybody
mate.
here.
Oh,
Good three. Good three.
well, pick
What's
the
this
top.
game 2? Or is it just game
Yeah.
Shaq is giving up points here.
2? I don't know if Shaq's the problem.
Oh man,
You're
you're
in the modern
behind.
NBA to NBA Jam.
NBA Jam will let you catch up, but it'll also like you'll be ripping the shit out of a team, and all of a sudden they'll be like, oh yeah, you can't make easy shots anymore.
Wave
It
it
puts an
up.
E to speed, like you in the race, like.
Wasn't it a case where like the person who coded the game made it so that the Pistons would always beat the Bulls or something like
Yeah.
that?
And like
Yeah.
they also hated Reggie Miller for the
Wave
next
it up.
That's incredible.
Who'll miss threes at the end of the game.
You'll
Yeah.
love it.
At the buzzer.
I demand that pettiness in all video games.
Okay, we're tied.
Oh, you brought it back. You can't quite see it all. For some reason. It's not that screen. Oh, you're gonna run down the stats? It was Shaq's thing to beat. You gonna switch to Grant?
I want to be Shaq.
I don't think I'm gonna put Horace Grant with the fucking goggles. That's I don't like that.
I want to be Shaq. He's not going to get injured anymore. I'm doing the injuring.
What do we got?
Oh, he got stripped immediately.
Incredible. Jesus. That's a slow start if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Who was
I'm
that
going back for the block. I'm blocking every
That's how
time.
you do it.
Gabe, did you do any
You
broadcasts?
got mail.
I did a little bit,
Yeah.
just because it was something that was available in
Yeah.
some classes. So for shout out WWC Sports at Maryland, I just spilled cider on my shirt. It's fine.
Intercepted.
And I shook the cup. Yeah, I got to call a few games, women's basketball,
Oh, nice.
back when they were really good, and I mean, they're still all right. They're still all right, and they're not as good as they were. I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah.
because they lost a
You
lot.
had
of
Christy Tolliver and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Shatori Walker.
Oh, get that shit out of there.
Absolute lights out shooter.
Yeah.
But I got to call the game when they played number 1 UConn.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to ask Gino a very
What?
simple student reportery question.
Yeah.
Still ask.
Do you like basketball, Gino?
Yeah, that's what I asked.
You like basketball?
I will say there was nothing more intimidating than asking that question. Just because
Yeah.
Gino is like, listen, he's a dick, but I gotta say his words. Like you can't. The thing is, you forget. Oh right, I don't really like this person. Just something you really can't.
They are tearing Shaq
You
up.
gotta turbo it to the hoop, man.
Going for the Hail Mary, then you can't really do that.
From downtown.
Oh, God.
This
That
is
was a big swing.
this is extremely hard to
You gotta
play.
go turbo to the wing.
This
turbo around.
is extremely hard. I'm telling you,
I
it's
can
extremely
tell
hard to
for
play
you
on
it's extremely
controller.
hard to play. That's what it looks like.
Get his ass.
So you got to use
Yeah,
basketball? That's
yeah. So that was cool.
Did
calling
you do
it.
play by
I
play?
can't figure out what the.
Well, because
Oh!
I
I can't figure out the buttons.
You scored 39 points.
it's not bad.
How did I pick up the buttons?
You can catch up. Still got time. So yeah, usually there was like
Shaq is
at journalism school, like they differentiate between like broadcast and so there was a broadcast major because I also wrote a cover of basketball.
Oh, nice.
So like I knew a thing or two, and I got to talk, and it was
Cool.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, I wish I stuck with it and had the chops to continue doing it.
They got the goggles on him.
He's on fire.
Oh, no, Nate.
Though I think this was back when
Into the hole. Oh,
all right.
this guy's-
There we
his
go.
jacket. That's a fucking. That was an Anthony Cowan type shot. Like 3 seconds into the shot clock, just launching one from like.
Do
30
something.
Dude, I am still pissed at Anthony Cowan for that one where we were down like 23 at the half, and like they came out and Brad made him do all the runs all over again, and at the half, and then they brought it back, and then we lost it because Devontae Williams fucking chucked a baseball pass from the baseline out of the fucking stadium, basically.
The endings of listen, I'll always maintain that I prefer watching NBA games to college games.
Yeah.
But I'll say the endings of college games are infinitely more entertaining because somebody always fucks up in a hilarious way.
Yeah.
Just like absolute disastrous.
Look, I get watching the NBA. I get that it's that
Oh my God, I always
college
mess
is
that up.
not as good. But I love how people act like in the NBA nobody misses open threes or anything like that. Why would I ever want to watch a game where they miss stuff? Have you watched the Suns for the past 7 years?
And that's a fair argument. I always point to the Gonzaga UNC final where both teams shot under 35% from the field and was the ugliest game I'd ever seen. And yet people talk about, look at this beautiful game of amateurism. It's that is amateurism right there. They suck.
Yeah, I lost.
First off, let's put it out on Monday. College athletes are professional athletes.
Right.
I have lost for sure.
Terrible.
I believe in you. I think there's still time.
There's some good
Never
defense there.
Mavericks win the
You
game.
try to win a game now with this controller.
Okay.
You do it.
Watch out. I wish we could play each other. It'd be much more rewarding to beat the shit out of you guys.
Alright. That's how the game goes.
I gotta play Jordan.
Oh no, don't play Jordan.
Why?
Don't trash talk me that I lost and then play Jordan. That's
No, there's all these
Jordan.
fucking rules that you're coming up with now.
You can pick Jordan, but if you win, it's not going to mean anything.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Is this fair? That's a fair.
I think that's fair.
You are literally
Welcome
trash.
to NBA
You can't just get away.
Oh, Nate, will you set up the soccer? Let's get some soccer going. I will say, since I stopped watching football, and now I watch the beautiful game instead. It is nice to wake up on Saturday mornings and watch some soccer.
I will. Yeah, no, that's always.
What about if I play USA 92?
That's even worse.
I don't know. Larry Burton's kind of old then.
That's true. It was kind of bad.
Should be Washington represent where you're at right now.
Oh yeah, they got Spud Weber. Who's
Chris
that? Oh,
Chris Webber and Juwan Howard.
Juwan Howard. All I remember about Juwan
Scott
Howard.
Styles, the guy.
Oh yeah, that was on that. He's coaching that.
Yes. Or am I mixing that up?
He is coaching. I know Scott Styles. He's coaching somewhere.
Legendary Bulls coach, Scott Skiles.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did coach the Bulls.
versus Maverick.
Google.
Okay.
Lower that brightness real quick. Get you the answers.
Thank you.
Scott Skiles. He used to be the Orlando coach. He was it for a year.
Oh, okay.
Orlando was interesting. Orlando was like the spiritual successor to Grit and Grind.
Yeah. Well, you mean this year?
Yeah.
I've not watched any of their games.
They're holding points to close to 100 points a game. They're playing
Vooch.
Boom. Gucci Mane.
That's all I got in nicknames.
Oh come on. Oh shit. Oh, goaltending.
Terrible. How dare you?
I hate the goaltending in this game. It makes me mad. Oh, I thought it was gonna There we go. Oh, come on. What are you doing?
Absolutely terrible.
Losing?
You got mail.
What? That's the mod.
Because it was in
apparently.
6. I think. Where my computer's at?
I think it's on like a table.
Just right here. Very nice.
Come on.
Who are your favorite NBA teams to watch nowadays? NBA guy?
Yeah,
Primarily?
yeah. I'm more of an NBA guy, than a Premier League guy. I'm
There's not a lot of NBA games on Saturday and Sunday morning.
Yeah,
It was my point.
Listen,
It's replacing football for me.
that's totally fair. And I'm not saying that's
You got
a
mail.
comparison of like either or, but I've been a Wizards fan for most of my life, unfortunately.
Oh man, I've actually never met a Wizards fan. Well, Amy, I guess, is a Wizards fan, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah.
She loves Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre I was very disappointed when they traded him away. Otto Porter, fine, because there was an image of him. He was at Georgetown. Georgetown got into a fight with some Chinese team, and there's an image, very infamous image of Otto Porter trying to break up the fight, but in a way that it looks like he's trying to vocally reason with the Chinese guys stomping out his teammates, and it just makes for an image that makes you wonder why it became the next contract. But now I'm doing a little victory dance because Ruby Hachimura has been balling out.
I like Ruby Hachimura.
He's been averaging 25 points a game for the past 8 games. Thomas Bryant, a promising guy. Yeah, he was putting up Wilt numbers last year. At least
it is
not that.
The man. If you click this one, it'll probably give us
Wilt
the
guy,
pregame.
I'm just gonna talk to you people.
That's the one we want.
While they figure it out.
We want to watch.
We can watch one that's actually going right now.
There isn't one going on right now.
Is there?
Tottenham Hotspur and Burnley.
I thought that was over.
Yeah. Oh, those are going. Well, I bet if you go to this one, it will have them on because it's basically one channel that shows them on. Dude, did you know that watching Premier League in the U.S. is kind of better than when you live in England because it's the same kind of blackout shit.
Really?
It's not well broadcasted. Yeah, it's games are more readily available to you.
I do know there is some frustration.
Go to it's called Keep Sports Honest. Then we'll have the games.
I know there's frustration because it's either this week or next week that most of the games are being shown on Amazon Prime. Or on the Amazon Video thing or whatever, and
it might be because
folks are upset.
They had City for that thing.
I think
it's
to this one soccer podcast. From
it's this one down here. What the men in Blazers?
No, not them.
I don't know. I don't listen to.
It's the Guardian football podcast.
Okay.
They're very good at what they do. I enjoy the hell out of them. Shout out. Max Rush.
Damn.
Liverpool 3, Bournemouth nothing.
Bournemouth stinks.
Bournemouth but yeah, so that makes sense. Though I will say it again because Rui's so good. And also because a lot of folks around here wanted Cam Reddish. And what's he doing for the Hawks right now? Tell me. Nobody knows. You know why? Because he's garbage. He's garbage.
Yeah.
He's probably a fine gentleman, fine player.
Yeah, you knew that whole team was going to be not
I only really watched Trey Young on the Hawks. Why would you pay attention to
I'm talking about that dude team.
RJ Barrett has a lot
are you putting it on the TV?
I'm just putting it there in my preparation.
So we can watch it. There's a cord right there.
I didn't know we were going to do it until after the game was
It makes us look cultured to the people looking through your window.
Screens going.
Yeah, DC.
I bet soccer.
DC. Actually, we watched the World Cup in DC. The Russia Croatia game. I remember all the fucking dumbass wonks that were chanting USA.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! I'm losing.
Ugly shot.
Come on.
We watched Croatia and Russia, the World Cup game, and there was a couple interesting elements. One, there was this lady who was very pro-Russia, and her boyfriend who she was being obnoxiously pro-Russian.
She was being obnoxious.
You know that level of thing that wants to kind of trash talk, but also doesn't know how to take it too far. You're just kind of being mean. And
international settings and kind of end up being racist.
Yeah, there's a really cool bar that we went to. It was a lot of fun.
What's the bar called?
What was it? What's it called, name?
It's
the one right across the street from the Improv.
Decades. It's
Decades.
Lucky's, yeah. That place is cool. We actually went and watched the fucking election results there.
Gotta love it.
Which people were cheering for Joe Manchin. that one,
Ugly
which
shot.
was fucking repugnant.
But people just getting their asses kicked.
Guys, stop bashing.
Oh, okay.
Where's my drink?
So there was this lady who was.
Oh, that's fine. You're sick. Wait.
No, I'm actually feeling better. And the boyfriend was like looking back at us, and she was saying nasty things about us. And the boyfriend was looking back at us, looking like it can only be described as like, guys, I know this is really bad. I'm really trying to get laid, and like I can't say anything, but like I'm sorry. Like so that was a whole dynamic.
Why don't you shoot it, Scott?
And then there was, you know, the crowd was like 89% Croatia, but we were there and rooting for Croatia because we enjoyed the Croatian team. A lot of really fun players. They had a fun like balls to the wall style. With
Well, no, they did not have a balls to the
But
wall
yeah, no, it
style.
wasn't balls in the wall.
They had a let's see if we can get this to a shootout.
They also had some incredible, from what I remember, like fast break. When they would go on break, it was like,
Oh, Scott.
yeah, like they would turtle up, but then when they would break, they would like go for broke. They would just send dudes out the field, and it was fun. It was a fun team, but that's not why 80 to 90% of the people there were rooting for Croatia. They were rooting because they beat Russia.
Because Russia didn't meddle in our election.
Yeah, I know.
God, love it. That's incredible.
It's
That's
some
only the
galaxy
mindset
brain.
you can get in that part of DC. Just that kind of
Exactly.
brain is-
And so when Croatia won, whenever they scored, they would be like, "Oh yeah!" And then everybody else in the bar would start chanting, "USA!" Who wasn't playing? USA! And then we immediately were like, "We don't want to root for Croatia."
Yeah. At that point, you kind of have to root for Russia. You have no choice.
No, we didn't. We didn't. Root for
Yeah, we
Russia.
wouldn't do that because it was clearly them fixing the World Cup. Like, I mean.
I mean, they got past Spain. It should raise some questions.
Chris Webber fucking getting a 3 there. Oh.
But I do feel like every World Cup there's a couple of European teams. It's always interesting. There are European teams on the upswing. There are European teams at the height of their powers, and there's always a few European teams that have the old guard. They're old and crusty and stuff now. This last one it was Spain. And they both had just a bunch of
And Argentina.
Well, Italy wasn't even there.
At the buzzer.
Yeah.
Oh, they both qualified. That's right.
The
Oh,
fuck?
that was funny.
That was
That was
fucking
funny.
horseshit.
Oh, that is
That was
absolutely
horseshit.
absolutely. So would you say that in
Who could that be, folks?
Who could be here?
Here.
We're kicking you out of the street. What's up, man?
How's it going? Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Are we live now?
We are live.
We're live.
We got the NBA
And
Jam.
we'd like to sit here. We have a thing here. We have chairs.
I'm gonna
Should
stop
you-
playing this, I think.
Would you like a beer?
I'm good on beer. Do you have beer or anything like that?
I do.
Oh, the Nespresso.
Ooh, that sounds good.
For the studio audience, I got an espresso.
Because of the George Clooney commercial.
Yes.
He wanted to be like a knight.
I'm a sucker for advertising. What was that? I'm a sucker for advertising. 1, 2, it's pretty good and save money. 3, I've always wanted people to come over to be able to offer you an espresso.
For two.
That fresh. Let me bring an espresso down.
Alright, I'm down 5. I'm making a comeback here.
There we go. All right.
I gotta tighten up on D.
You're doing the same. Holy.
Oh, that's not good.
Listen, I know it's a cartoon, but that's still impressive.
Come
I'm still impressed.
on. Yes! Dude, Jamal Mashburn is just fucking tearing me up.
Jamal Match.
He was good, dude.
Yeah. I think he was the first jersey
For two.
ever.
Was he on the Steve Nash era Mavs?
He might have been gone. I don't know. I don't know.
How did you miss that? Oh!
Just watching Adam. Just watching. about how bad he was, and I was getting his ass kicked.
Well, you made me play with the fucking
I
bullets.
didn't make you do anything.
You said
I
you
strongly
should.
suggested you play with the hometown team.
Well, I mean, I will admit that to play Jammy, you have to play with a good team generally, like to be good at it.
That's up for debate. Alright.
Is he losing?
He's losing.
At the buzzer.
Maybe not.
Oh, I
Maverick
kept it close.
wins
Yeah,
the
well, it's a
game.
little bit closer.
Okay.
So he can't talk too much shit as he did at one.
Damn. Well, talk shit.
If
get
only-
beat.
Yeah. This one does.
Okay, wait. Okay, we'll transition.
Set up in the
There we
social
go. Let's
station
go to
right here.
let's go to the boom cam. We'll go to Anders. We got Anders over here. There we go.
Hey, Anderson here.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. It's cold outside, and I was biking uphill. There's a lot to get here. So
You
I'm
biked here?
Yeah, that's how I get around. But
This
I'm
is a
a
major
gross combination between like sweat and cold air on my skin.
I feel that.
Yeah, I just feel like the flu.
That's great. I mean, what other feeling are you supposed to experience in DC?
Yeah, they call it swamp. Yeah, it's the swamp.
Nice.
Well, that's weird.
If we're getting visited by poltergeists.
Nate, is your house haunted?
Yeah, maybe.
Let me just try it again.
Yeah, I just gotta unplug it and plug it back in.
That's most of my fixes for most everything. Ooh, look at that! It's a galaxy.
Almost done.
No problem.
There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to add. I gotta add Anders. We have a special Chiron just for him.
Sweet.
For those who don't know, Anders hosts Pod Game America, co-host, appears on RT, Redacted Tonight, and he's a stand-up comedian along with me in the DC area.
That's right. Good to be here. Do you have a name for your house?
No. What do you have one in mind? Is there kind of a vibe it's giving you?
Well, I'm
Stinky fridge?
I'm liking the orange jackets. Thinking like something basketball related. The
Yes.
pump up. The pump.
There we go. Okay, I'm gonna
I'm
switch
down
it.
with a pump.
There we
nice
go.
and sharp. I can get into that.
The pump.
We have a nice Columbia blend for you tonight.
Oh, man.
Does it have a description?
Just losing all of our cred right now.
No, it's good because Nate, I believe, found that Nespresso.
High
Okay, well,
High
that's,
grown.
So that's very leftist.
That's-
washed,
yeah.
processed Colombian Arabica. Arabica?
Wow.
Arabica is like the most generic basic coffee. So
Okay.
I
It
love
looks
that.
the box makes it look like a candle.
Yeah.
it's actually candle wax.
It's
You get used to the taste, I will say that.
fit to screen. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got Liverpool. Dude, Liverpool has only lost 1 point one possible point all season, haven't they?
They lost the game to Norwich.
Oh, this week.
No, I mean, way back when.
Oh, really?
It was back in September, I want to say.
We remember that.
Not to bring. I'm not going to bring this up often, but I know for a fact it was before Deadspin got it because I wrote about it.
Oh, I'm Gabe. I used to write for Deadspin.
I did, yeah. It's my only claim to fame here.
Everyone misses it.
Oh, I'm Gabe. I still write for Deadspin.
I'm an algorithm.
Hey, I'm Gabe the Scab.
Yeah, guys. This is actually we're actually Gabe has been writing. He's
Thank
been
you.
the Deadspin uncredited writer. This is a big expose, actually.
What's on the homepage now? Is it just
Nothing's-
articles from 3 months ago?
They haven't
Since
posted anything.
since November 4th was the last one, and it was Helen Winslow's trial. Helen Winslow Jr.'s trial,
Wait,
Oh.
for masturbating a lot?
and also sexual exploitation.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did a segment on that for RT,
Oh yeah.
which was good. It was fun, but not usual RT content.
No, nice. Thank you.
Mixing it up there.
It's all good. Yeah, that's the last it's been. It's again just the. I mean, anyone who's watching probably does know.
Well, thanks for everybody who quit their jobs because we all got great content out there.
I mean, it's the least we can do.
Like us vultures have like swept on the corpse.
We were noticing there was a shortage in the content economy, and we wanted to do our part.
Yeah, there was monopoly.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Planet Earth episode where the whale dies, goes to the bottom of the ocean, and is eaten by the various bottom feeders?
I have not. No.
Well, the whale is Deadspin, and the bottom feeders are us.
No, that's good. At least we served some purpose.
Yeah,
it's just decomposing and blowing up on a beach somewhere.
We use every part of the whale. I'll tell you that.
That's good. Just as
all right,
nature intended.
I gotta sign up.
Sperm.
Especially the sperm. Yeah.
Delicacy.
That's a fancy keyboard there. Very cool.
That's the old typewriter.
That's a nice keyboard.
Oh yeah.
It's complimenting.
Yeah, you guys are really into the keyboard.
And we just did something.
Yeah, I've never seen a keyboard like that.
Yeah, no, it's
You could convince me that was like a DJ thing.
oh yeah, the
Making
backlit
music.
thing. I got the backlight just because I think it looks cool.
No, that
I was like,
it looks pretty cool.
I could get it without the backlight, or I could get it with the backlight for the same price. And I was like, oh, I gotta get the backlight.
Why
That's
would
just the acid that I slipped into your Nespresso.
Okay.
No.
Is your keyboard a frog?
We're gonna have a nice time here on the stream.
It's gonna be great. Oh man.
Yeah, we didn't get the whippets. We were talking about getting whippets, but
Would you like Kratom?
Oh yeah.
You want Kratom?
I love some Kratom.
Oh, absolutely.
I had a little bit earlier.
I love how like Sam was like when Sam was like yesterday. He was like, well, I'm gonna have some Kratom if that's getting passed around. I'm like, Sam, it will be there.
I have done Kratom.
I can't function without it at this point, so.
I think I'm gonna put it in my espresso and then
wonderful.
make it an Americano.
Do you know, Anders, that every time you've seen me perform,
You've been on Kratom?
year I've been on Kratom.
Yep,
Every
probably.
single time.
Probably the same. And we-
I was gonna say, yeah, I've just been going to work on Kratom, or else I want to murder everyone that I work with. Not everyone, just two specific people.
Do you want to explain what Kratom is? Because I never. Cause I don't know. I'm a newbie to
Sure.
its existence, to be honest.
Kratom is a ground up plant, and basically that's it. There's really no other ingredient other than it's a plant that is ground up. The plant, I can't pronounce the name, but it's like M-I-T-O-G.
Ingrisa speciosa.
Yeah.
Americano.
And it can be found in, depending on where you find it, that's a strain of it. And there's like Borneo, Malaysia, Thailand, and they grow different strains. There's generally green, white, and red.
Okay.
Different people have different experiences. In my opinion, Anders, I don't know about you, but green perks me up,
Oh yeah.
white fucks me up, and red puts me to sleep.
Okay.
I can do a little white. I think a little green.
I've been
white,
doing a
yellow,
lot of
mixture
white
would be
lately.
Nice. If you need to get something done, it can be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White's not, I mean, like, I'm saying like, in large amounts,
Oh,
white has more, in large amounts, green will just sort of like, they make you nervous, but like most just amp you up.
Gotcha.
And then white in large amounts will be, I want Kratom.
Yeah,
That's
you're
large
pretty
amounts of
fucked
white.
up. Yeah.
A lot of green just makes you feel like you're coming, basically.
Yeah.
Like coming out of.
I'm
every
coming every time I'm taking Kratom. I'm in the Kratom. I'm at work. I'm at the comedy club. I'm coming all the time.
When I'm streaming, I'm coming. When I'm partying, I'm coming. That's how you go, Arnold.
I know. Usually I'm pretty good at doing an Arnold impression, and that one was bad. Here, wait.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was from,
Is there another Arnold?
what is his
Hey
documentary
Arnold.
called?
Yes, there was a Hey Arnold episode where he goes through puberty and all the
It comes out European.
Oh, a little fight between Watson and Crystal City here.
You just call
Watson.
Watford, yeah.
I can't. What do you want from me?
Crystal Palace. You mean? Crystal City is in the Wizard.
There's a little fight.
And
Just
between,
Emerald City.
Oh, there we go. That's to mix that up.
there's a fight on the pitch between Crystal City and IBM's Watson.
Punching the computer, beating the shit out of each other. It's absolute madness.
Watson got a hold of World Star Hip Hop to train his things.
I love when they go into the corner because that's got to be the most frustrating shit in the planet.
What is?
Like when the player goes into the corner to waste time.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
That's got.
Dude, what the funniest part is when like when they'll like kick the ball away from the dude about to pick it up.
Yeah.
That's the funniest
That's
part
a
in the
good
world to me.
No, that's the top 5 moment.
I don't know how people cannot think soccer is fucking awesome with shit like that. They're like, oh, it's for fucking pussies.
Yeah,
When
well,
the goalie has a nice diving save and then
yeah.
lays on the ball and goes like a deep breath he does.
The thing is, it hits it's like now more than ever we're seeing this point of hypocrisy of like not enjoying soccer because the NBA there's more scoring than ever. The NFL there's more scoring than ever. I don't know anything about hockey, but I assume there are more goals than ever, just because that's the way everything is going. And yet people are complaining about all of that. And the main criticism of soccer is, well, nothing happens.
Well, you gotta.
But, yeah, well, too much is happening in the other sport. And you keep whining about it.
Well, the thing too about like football is like really like just as many goals are scored as the EPL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just count them twice as much.
Yeah, it's like the big numbers, It's like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
The
man?
numbers are bigger.
Yeah, they should just start making each goal in soccer football worth 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That would solve everyone's issue.
They'll just be really more into it. The thing
And
is,
then
and
you
it'll be like a different measurement system, like the metric system. Like only in America will it happen. Like it'll still be
Oh, yeah.
one
Oh, yeah.
It's
in
like
Europe.
North Korean basketball.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, extra point. How about this? Extra point in soccer would be there's no goalie, but you set the ball at the half line,
Oh,
and you just get a free kick. So obviously they're gonna hit it like 90% of the time, but 10% of the time they're gonna fuck it up. Like, oh, you fucked up the thing, no goalie. So that'd be a fun
That's
one.
good.
Yeah.
We've saved soccer. You're welcome.
We're gonna put $25 in.
You saved a broken sport that is the most popular thing in the world.
Amount required. I put a fucking amount in there.
So
Is
here's
ML
something. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask
Oh, no,
if
that's-
MLS is still trying to reinvent itself constantly.
It's coming to Charlotte, which is like
They have way too many teams.
yeah. Well, because it's basically just a big
So-
Ponzi scheme. Like,
Yeah?
yeah. Like basically, if you have $300 million, you could have an MLS team. Like it's just like they just keep
That's
buying into it. No one's making any money on it.
Does every team have a Patreon?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Nashville does.
Yeah.
Last thing I remember is the U.S., it was one year in the World Cup and the U.S. just like ate shit. And then they come home and the head coach just gets this big-ass job with the New York Red Bulls. Even though
Jurgen Klinsmann. Is that Klinsmann's?
it might have been Bruce Arena.
Bruce
something
Arena.
like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
Bruce
was-
Arena, yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
We have
That shows how
at
much
NCFC we have the USA coach. My deposit was rejected.
Owned.
Oh, it's that fucking crappy ass. It's like that fucking bullshit with your credit card. How it won't take
It's hosted in England, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
UK?
I'll go. We'll use Bet Online. You know, it's not that great. I don't
What
know.
are we doing?
We're gonna do some gambling once Sam gets here. Sam is gonna give us financial advice. I have taken out my 401k check and we're going to gamble the entire thing.
Fantastic.
Cool. Love it. I mean, we're not gonna need it. Come on, man. Why would we?
It's actually less risky than keeping it in my 401k to go with Sam's betting advice.
Am I right, though?
Premier League and politics futures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some politics betting.
Put it all on Bernie, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my $28 for both.
We get any Corbin bets?
Ooh, maybe we could. Let's see.
Oh,
Hold on. I gotta make a deposit.
I know. Did anyone watch the debate, the UK debate?
I did live stream.
Were they in the Tron thing again? Or was it different?
It,
The what?
it was like the same stage, but they didn't do the light up. They didn't do
Gotcha.
the backlight.
Yeah, it looked like an earlier debate. They had like on the stage, Adam, but like just zooming lights that made it look like it was the Tron world.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah. But that's good, a
Okay.
more traditional approach.
Uh-huh.
How did Jezza do?
He did fine. He's, yeah, I think he held his own. It's like there's no good way to answer the anti-Semitism question, but he's I think he's
almost because it's
made
like
it
a
clear.
bad faith accusation.
Yeah.
They asked like anti-Semitism, and he like right off the bat said, "Anti-Semitism will never be allowed in my party. And it's wrong on every level. I do not want any. So I will kick people out if they are proven anti-Semites. They'll be kicked out of the party. We'll do everything in our power. It is wrong in every way." And they go to Boris. Boris is like, "You haven't said anything about anti-Semitism." It's like, you don't listen to the fucking answer he just said.
Like, he said all kinds of horrible things about like Pekingese and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then they asked him about like you could never get away with that because they asked Boris about his own Islamophobia and his remarks about Muslims, and he basically within like 10 seconds was like, Corbyn's an anti-Semite, and it's like how you couldn't get away with that the other way around.
No,
if they were just like Corbyn, what do you think of your anti-Semitism? And he's like, but Jeremy is a Islamophobe. They would eat him alive.
Yeah.
But what did you think about, obviously he was more restrained. He was restrained because I think that he was, of course, the entire media tries to paint him as a frothing at the mouth lunatic.
Right.
And so because of that, he tried to be very somber and sober and like, but on the other hand, I was kind of hoping at points that he would kind of like get the kind of rah-rah, like he would just like destroy,
You need a big dunk moment.
He didn't have any dunk moments, and I understand why. There's a strategy of him being like, I'm a normal person, I'm not the lunatic that you read about.
Right.
But like, I kind of wanted him to dunk. He didn't do any dunking. There was no dunking.
I think the closest thing was the nurses scandal. Well, not scandal, but like Johnson's claim that they've hired something like 50,000 new nurses, which just isn't true.
Yeah.
And he was able to, I think, hit back on that. Yeah, I think like the economics points are on his side because, like, people in Britain have been living with austerity for 10 years now, so like, they get it. They're just like maybe not so sure that this guy is sane because of media.
Yeah. We can only hope, folks. It's up to you, all of our UK audience.
I don't know if we have any UK audience.
Our entire UK audience. It's up to you.
It's
okay.
Don't mess it up.
We will hold you responsible.
Yeah. We will find you.
I was in England once. I'll come back again.
We will go to the Midlands.
I think that's a threat.
We will.
I became a Bangladeshian meme. That's how good I was.
What?
Yeah, when I went to... I actually haven't really told the story because we were kind of like on a break when I went to the Cricket World Cup, and I was there for like a day. I was there for a day because I can fly for free because my wife's family like worked for the airline, and so I had gotten laid off, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to England for the fucking because I've been watching cricket like every morning while I was applying for jobs, and so I went over there. I went to Afghanistan versus. I went to Afghanistan versus Bangladesh. I missed the first 3 flights that I could have gotten out because they were booked all the way. Because like I basically just get on if there's nobody that's in the seat.
On standby.
Yeah, I'm on standby. And so I was in Chicago. I went out with my buddy in Chicago the night before, and we had a good time. And then I got on the last possible flight. I get into Heathrow at like 6 in the morning. The game is at 9. My hotel is right next to the game in Southampton, which is like an hour and a half from London. So I get on this bus, and I get on the train, get there, fucking shower, get an app. Because it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I left Chicago. And like now it's like 6 in the morning in London. I get in there, get to the, I take a shower, sit in bed for like 20 minutes, get to the game, start drinking, hanging out with all these Bangladeshi guys because I decided to buy. I liked the Bangladeshi throwback uniform they were selling. It had like this very cool like tiger thing motif.
Hell yeah!
And so I got really into it. Everybody was like everybody's into it. Then they were like telling me that like I was like a meme on Instagram, like because I was like the only white dude like in the middle of like all this. And I was like, putting like people's kids on my shoulders and stuff. Yeah, like every time they'd score like a 4 or like a boundary or whatever, I would be like, you know, like dancing with everybody, and like they're like, dude, like they're memeing you out. I'm like, but then after the game ended and Bangladesh won, Bangladesh has probably the best like they call it an all-rounder. It means that he bowls and he hits like at a high level, and so he's probably like the best like all-rounder player like in cricket right now. And his name, he's well-rounded. And his name is Shakib Al-Hassad. And we were doing like the Shakib Al-Hassad, and I was like leading this like chant of like all these people with flags and stuff. I'm like double fisting beers, and like there's like people with like stuffed tigers like shoving it, and like I'm like in the middle, like everybody's going crazy. And then, like, this guy comes, like, he's like, I'm with, you know, national television or whatever, like, is Shakib Al-Hassad the best all-around cricket player right now? I'm like, you saw the fucking match.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Then I went to, like, English Applebee's, or Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, okay.
It's,
How was that?
That was pretty cool. I met some people who worked for NHS, so it was pretty neat. I described to them the American healthcare system.
They're just there waiting for someone to have a cataract.
Yeah. You actually, if you go drinking, you can just get all your work done. And like, I described the American healthcare system to them, and they just like looked at me like in abject horror. Like they're just like, "What? Are you serious?" Like. I wouldn't even say they said they were voting for Jezza, but like I didn't get the impression that they were like especially like left leaning necessarily. Like they were just kind of like young. But yeah, like I mean, just like it was hysterical. Just like how like horrified they were by my life, like my daily life.
My mere existence in this country is a joke.
I survive in America. I'm pretty badass.
Yeah, have you seen that video that's been circulating?
Yeah. I thought of the exact same thing when I saw it.
Befuddled English people.
There's like, nah.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
Cost and everything.
Yeah. Like, how could you? Man, I can't make a deposit into this. Nate, we have to use your account, I think.
Well, boys.
Oh yeah, I got some NC beer. Yeah.
Perfect. Sweet.
I got an NC sour as well.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, man.
That's in a big
We
bottle.
kind of have to get lathered up a little bit.
I got a couple of big bottles.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
I don't want to be spending a ton of money at the game. So
Yeah,
we gotta
should
get.
not.
Do they even sell beer?
They do now, but
Oh,
it's
really?
still like $12
Yeah.
for a beer.
They don't sell beer all around Assembly Hall, just in the rich people seats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right, I would say. Yeah, they only just
We haven't even showed everybody Coda's jersey. Coda, come
I don't
here.
think we've shown Coda.
Come here, buddy. We have the Coda cam.
Look at dog.
Can you see him? There he is. Wait, where is
Oh.
he? You see him? Coda, come here. No, he's just hanging out. We put him in his Durham Bulls jersey, so.
What game is it?
This is the
that.
Go ahead.
What, that jersey? Yeah, that's.
You're going to it.
We're going to. Where are we going to? Maryland and Illinois basketball.
Should we take the paper bags, put over our
I
heads?
feel like maybe we should. Yeah.
We should.
We're gonna like, even though we're like so high up, it's more to insulate ourselves from the Maryland fans that are literally the most unpleasant people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, no, we're pretty sure.
I was like telling that to you. I think the last time we had you on, I was like, man, like a literal like 10-year-old child like swore at me. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I didn't realize that this was a thing that Maryland, as a state, and when it comes to chants and stuff, is just more rude than others. Because like most of the shit that's said is stuff that like I remember we were yelling in high school too.
That might be it.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh wait a minute, this isn't a thing everywhere. It's kind of like how I found out that not everywhere do people do the O during the national anthem.
Yes.
And I learned that was only a Baltimore Orioles thing at Fenway Park. I found out. I went with this girl I was dating at the time, and like the national anthem is playing or whatever, and then like right as it comes out, I yell "Oh!" But as I'm getting ready to do it, like I noticed nobody else is like taking a deep breath. So like it was a very half-hearted but still very loud oh, and it got enough attention that like I had beer bottles thrown at me. It was not.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is
Well,
for,
the aluminum ones. So.
Yeah.
This is for
say.
like that, or you just
what was
go
this?
oh throughout the.
No, you
Do
just
you
say
say it in the
oh,
say,
oh,
yeah.
say does that? Yeah, in that part you yell oh. Just there, yeah. Just
Were they
Oh.
playing Orioles?
No.
So
Oh,
you just got
shit.
beer bottles.
God
so
damn it.
Yeah, for just yelling. Because I didn't know. Again, I just thought it was like a thing in general that people did
Okay.
because I'm an idiot.
Well, I got bad news
We
for you.
we yell red at the Hurricanes game.
That makes I know that.
I know it's a Cornell thing too.
So
you yell
does
red.
I think the Caps also do red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got bad news for you. They're Boston fans, so they were planning on throwing those
Yeah,
beer
they
bottles
probably-
at you.
Yeah.
They're like,
If it wasn't for the O, it was for just
is there an opposing team non-white fan here at the stadium? Get your beer bottles ready.
Oh yeah, I was clearly
Rip at this man.
clearly anti-Boston as I have been my whole life.
How do you think, Gabe? How do you think the not standing for the national anthem will go at Maryland?
I think if we're in the section you say we're in, we'll be fine. But I do think Maryland's.
Nate made me stand for the national anthem at Madison Square Garden. I just want to say that Nate is.
We
a
were
true pumper down.
Let me get
in
a
a sea of.
There's literally a dude with a MAGA hat like in the
Yeah.
section next to us.
It was fratty, broy Maryland people, just like real. Yeah, okay. Just real, like I was like, they already hate because you were being up. When you show up with this, everyone knows you're
It was-
going to be obnoxious as fuck.
Right.
Everyone
Well,
knows,
it
like,
wasn't
this is what
like
it's
we
gonna
were
be.
like we were just generally just like, hey, like we're in Madison Square Garden, like we're sitting courtside, like you guys probably don't really care about anything that much because you're probably rich, and like they were like literally just like attacking like our character, like unprompted, like it wasn't even like fun ribbing. It was just like they were like why are you here? Like
I stuck my finger in the air at one of these, and I went, for our safety, we should stand for this. It's bad enough that we're here going to do this thing.
Yeah. You can always stand and not say.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to stand. I'm pretty sure. I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Unless we were in like the section
I will
right.
say
If we were right behind the student section or something like that, then yeah, that would be a problem.
I didn't stand in the Illinois student section, and nobody ever said anything to me. But I will say at the Wizards game, remember the Wizards game? Like nobody fucking stood up.
Yeah.
It was fucking wild. I was like, well, I guess the NBA is kind of lit.
Were you in the 400s?
We were in like the 200s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were actually on the like special level, but not like
Yes, it is. We go straight upstairs, right up there. Let's just say Wizards. Let's just say Wizards fans. Wizards tickets have been easy to come by for a while.
They certainly have. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I've been gone to a game in a year. I'm trying to remember the last game I went
It's
to.
fun.
It was a
Because-
Knicks game too. It was Wizards Knicks.
Oh,
So
God.
it was.
They don't play. They don't play any defense. So they lost a game to the Rockets earlier this year, 159 to 158. And I really want to go to some games because that seems, even if you lose and it's like 147 to 142.
It's better than the Knicks game.
That's
we
fun
went
as
to.
hell.
The Knicks game we went to was like 89 to 72
Yeah.
or something like that.
Awful.
Mid 2000s defense is back. Baby.
Yeah, it was.
Hand checking is
Give me another
legal.
shot at this. I can do it. I can do it.
Do
what?
I can
Okay,
do-
you're
I
getting
can,
back on.
uh,
You're getting back on. We'll get one more. We'll do Anders. We can do his misery up there.
Yeah. I need to figure out I need to hear the story of how he came to.
Couch. Wait. No, I need LeBron. Okay.
3 watching. Hell yeah.
Gang shit.
We've had a couple. We've had people popping in. No chat. Join in the chat. Give us questions, dude.
We will
Engage
answer
us.
whatever you type. We will answer it.
Oh, we need to do the fucking maybe we should do that once we have a few more beers.
I gotta put this on.
We can
somehow.
watch the video too. Here's a video that shows you how to do it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Yeah, I'd be
watch.
about it. The tornado.
Oh, you go to the file at the top. Oh no, go to emulation. Over one. Then unpause it.
I can win. I can win.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I had the new player, which is kind of fun.
Okay, Kratom is 0-2.
No, I played Undermine. I played 80 V. So we'll see. I hope that the lineup is It would be nice if they played 2 halves of basketball. That would be very
To pay for Maryland, because Maryland doesn't really do that often. They're very good at just sneaking it up in the first
just
half.
not showing up.
And then in the second half, just shooting like 60%. That's what they did their season 2. Or for one game, there was one game against Northwestern where they needed to go into overtime. And overtime, and the state game, which was a state Diamonds, that scored 40 points. Like 41 or 42, which was a freshman record at the time.
Okay.
Still is.
I love the Diamond Stone recruitment story.
Yeah,
That he was
versus
going to go to
Mavericks.
Wisconsin and then rescinded that and went to Maryland because he's like, Wisconsin is not black enough and it's all white kids here and I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude. I can only imagine.
Especially somebody named Diamonds. Like, the thing is, we make good jokes and what good jokes. We make jokes, but I can imagine just like a very, very, very white school probably.
Blaze it up!
Dude, can you imagine like the school that literally thinks like Brad Davidson is like one of the best players ever just because he's white?
Every single player,
Gets
every single
charges.
college player that has made their living getting charges.
Yeah.
We'll need to go in front of a tribunal council when I'm president. We will try you for your crimes
He's
against.
from fucking Gurney too, which is like it's a suburb of Chicago that's heavy.
Love it. Love to see it.
It definitely means
shit.
his dad from like some sort of defense contractor or something. Which yeah.
What are you doing letting that guy push
Isn't
you
Myers
around?
Leonard from Gurney? Yeah.
No, he's from downstate Illinois.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
For 2!
Myers.
There it is.
We love it. We love Myers.
Outlet pass. What?
Pro Myers podcast.
Blaze it up!
So, Gabe, who do you think is the as someone who's not of Illinois, who is the most standout Illinois basketball? Who represents Illinois basketball to you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Who's that guy who wore number 1 and had the headphones?
D Brown.
D Brown.
I didn't wear
Yeah.
number 1. You wore 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, that's probably most people's answer. That's probably most
I mean, what is?
D Brown. Actually, you want to know a funny story about D Brown? Because D Brown got brought back as like
Blaze it up!
No way.
contractor or whatever. And
That doesn't
so
make
basically
sense.
what he did was just go out with like boosters and shit. Like, hey, like, I'm fucking D Brown. It's
For 2!
yeah, and but he had to quit because his wife was like, you gotta stop because he's a bang. He's like the little most popular athlete in Illinois.
At the buzzer!
He made it for the caramel. I think I'm getting my ass chewed up. Hello. I'm getting my ass
Sam
chewed up.
Knight.
What's up, everyone?
Completely unexpected. I just showed up at the door.
About that.
The wild stuff that will happen when
You
you're in
got
DC.
How's your
Intercepted!
been so far?
It's good.
I'm
so
getting
far.
destroyed. Destroyed.
Okay, well, I'll have to fix that one later. Whatever. Yeah, it's been good. Yeah. Here, Nate, you gotta scoot over a little bit.
From downtown!
Okay. And then you're gonna have to log into your Bovada so we can get that.
So,
Hell yeah, buddy.
it's not off to a great start here.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh no.
How is my 401k doing?
I feel like I went a little soft on Tottenham, and I got fucked by it. So we'll see how that goes. But
Go to the hole, my
this
dude.
This is daily fantasy.
yeah,
Okay.
What is Carl
Also,
Malone
we
doing?
had a fucking tie in our match this week, which is always the worst.
oh what? You and me?
Yeah, and
Oh shit! I didn't even realize this is the Sentinel League.
yeah, I can't even tell if anyone's still actually playing it or not because it's like the worst app I've ever used. We're using like the official NBC Sports app, and it is just absolutely
He's on
for
fire!
EPL fantasy.
Oh, gotcha.
It's so bad.
I've only used the Premier League stuff, which is pretty. It's alright.
Well, it just sucks because there's no app. Like, so it's like, and so you can't do stuff too, like look and see, like injury reports, or like you have to like, it's just not. It's once you use like Yahoo or whatever, ESPN or whatever, it's just like, why don't you have like any news articles?
No, I very easily stopped caring.
Coda, not that way. Well, yeah, it might be that way.
No. Yeah, it's tough to keep up the enthusiasm.
At the buzzer.
It is just also so fucking long. Like
It's a long season.
Yeah.
Coming back in the second quarter, I was.
All right, you got a lot of hard.
Second half of the way.
So I do have some hope of of one of my entries in the full slate, which is if Gabriel Jesus goes off in the Manchester derby, I might be able to claw something back. But I didn't have enough faith in Spurs. I didn't have enough exposure to Mo Salah, and I made the classic mistake of not playing up for good defenders, I think.
There you go.
Actually, wait, no, that's not true. I had Nathan Ake in one.
He got taken off early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic injury.
Yeah,
So I guess I don't know. I think that's a good discussion.
Let's see what we got.
How do you like my open
daily
bet?
fantasy is so fucking frustrating.
Oh. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Is it? What is it? 100,000 or 10? 10,000. Nate has a plus 10,000 bet on Illinois to win the 2020 NCAA men's basketball tournament. Which I think it might be plus 10,000 that you make the fucking NCAA tournament. Okay.
Great, I like it though.
How much did you put on it?
$100.
Leave that dipshit up and maybe win.
Yeah.
There's a guy who put $5 on it.
Put 1 out of 10, $100. Okay, so here we go. Let's here, I'm gonna bring this down.
I accidentally
Here we go.
almost
Okay,
won a fantasy pool in
you?
2006 because I put George Mason as winning the whole thing, just like
Oh.
randomly. And
You scoot us up. You have to like.
Yeah.
they happened to.
What? Oh, sorry.
Most miraculous route. Jeez, I remember.
Whatever.
That.
It's no big deal. It's like right as it like went to the load screen.
Oh yeah.
But
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine, you're
DC
fine.
You're gonna have to wait.
legalizes gambling, or when I should say when it takes effect, when you can actually start gambling here on just straight up games rather than having to play the daily fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to try to stop playing the daily fantasy because
That's kind of what happened to me too.
it's so frustrating because needing specific players, like hoping so-and-so player doesn't get injured, like are they going to really play all 90 minutes and shit like that, and it's like
It's too much work.
it is too much work.
I was playing like morning MLB slates, which is like 3 to 4 games, and even that was like too much work.
But not only is it too much work, it's just like random.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
That's why you gotta play like
you
a
need
bunch
full
of games.
spread.
Yeah,
You need to play a bunch of games. You know, the right things need to
You gotta be
happen.
like calculating the fucking rake in too and shit, like to make any money.
You
out
know,
of it. It sucks.
I have like Kane and Salah in a bunch of lineups and Son Heung-min and everything. And like I'm still so far behind everyone because like you need,
Okay, so here we got. What do you want to take the team to kick off?
No.
We got.
That's degeneracy right there.
Yeah.
That's really.
That is low.
How do they determine who kicks off? Is it coin flip?
I think it is.
Yeah, but I don't think the winner of the coin flip even I think they get to choose which side to defend first. If I'm not mistaken.
So we got halftime, full time.
That's a interesting one.
We got keep a clean sheet. We got both teams to score over under 2.5 goals. Manchester United record a shutout win. Do you think where is it at? For who's at home?
It's Man City.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Man City's gonna fucking destroy them then.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just gonna be a fucking
I could see
7-0 route.
I could see City giving up a few goals.
Both
or
teams
at
to
least one
score.
goal.
Yeah,
Both teams to score. I think we could do that.
That's pretty
Maybe that's a yes. I think.
We got some overs. We could bet on corners.
Yes.
Correct score.
Oh yeah,
That's always
the correct score is fun. Yeah.
That's always a nervy one.
Method of first goal. I feel like we should put money on that one. We should. If we think it's going to be open play shot inside the box, header, pen, own goal, direct from free kick.
So,
I almost feel like own goal might happen. Like it's going to be Man U just like blasting one into their own goal.
Yeah.
maybe
Let's just toss my money away. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just
I will
do it.
give you back the money. I will give you back the money.
They looked okay against Spurs. Granted, that
But
was
Spurs
at home.
sucks too.
Well, they won 5-0 this morning.
They did
Against
do that.
who?
Burnley, but
Right.
they're not.
Yeah.
But
Burnley's not bad.
I mean, I think City will crush, but
Okay.
I don't know if it'll.
We got total bookings.
Ooh.
What are the odds on?
Will there be a sending off?
Ooh.
It's 320.
I think that. Wait, what are the odds on that?
320 yes. 500 no.
Ooh.
Not
It's a
negative
rivalry
500.
game. Might
It
happen.
is.
Yeah, but
It is a
it's a
derby day.
Yeah, I think we can put money.
Should we put it on?
I just- you
we'll
know
put
what,
a dollar
actually-
on it. We'll put a dollar on
Okay,
it.
I don't think Man United have the team spirit to get someone
Why don't we
sent
do-
off. I don't think they have the fight in them. So I actually don't like that bet at all. But anyway, whatever.
Okay.
It's
right.
Will
Chris-
will
you're
penalty
right.
be missed?
Chris
I feel like yes. The penalty might be missed.
No.
I don't know if there's
No?
going to be a penalty. Well, I think
Does
following his logic,
That
if
just
there's
means-
going to be a penalty given at all. That
Yeah. So no includes.
Does that include saves though? Is
A
a
no-
missed penalty also include
think
a
so.
save?
I think
yeah,
so.
no,
Yeah.
he misses. I think.
Okay, because I can see either keeper.
Will an own goal be scored? I feel like there will be an own goal scored. I kind of feel like Man U will put one in their own goal. Oh, I'm putting a dollar on it.
Go for it.
Okay. We got total corners, alternate.
Do we have correct score? Did you go by?
Yeah, we'll go back up. That's up.
What's 3-1 Man City?
Correct score.
Plus
So they're gonna be
900?
they're gonna be the first one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think 3-1?
What's 4-1? I like
1600.
I like both 3-1 and 4-1.
Ooh.
Let's put it on both. Let's put it on both.
Yeah.
We'll cover there.
And maybe 4-2 as well, a cheeky 4-2.
Okay, that's good. We'll put a dollar on all that.
And parlay all three.
So we're putting a dollar on that. A dollar.
I'm
on
sure
that.
Bovada wouldn't stop you. I'm sure probably, yeah, cool, thanks.
Okay, we got that. Do we want to bet on who gets the goal?
The first goal?
Yeah, the first
Or
goal.
ti-
Well,
or
right
score
now
at
it's-
any time.
We
Is
can,
that-
we can score at any time. Yeah,
you can do both, right?
yeah. We got because they have like next goal as well.
Is it next goal an in-game bet? Or no?
Yeah, so it will change. Yeah, you can keep live betting on it.
Doesn't Aguero always score against United?
He's not playing.
Oh.
He's injured.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
We got. How do you say it? Martial? Is that how you say it?
Martial.
Martial. Yeah. Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Jesus, De Bruyne, Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling.
Rashford is 10 in his last.
Rashford's very much in form. Gabriel Jesus will be leading the line for. I think Jesus is probably most likely to score.
But so for him to score is not a great bet.
Right.
But
yeah, because he is.
for him to score first is 350.
Oh.
What do we think?
I kind of like that Marcus Rashford bet because
For first?
No, at any time.
At any
because
time?
plus 250, and he's very much in form.
All right, let's put it in. Let's put it in.
I wouldn't mind De Bruyne to score at plus 300 because De Bruyne has also been on fire. And let's see. Well, it's getting to the point where if we do too many, we're probably gonna.
Well, they might all score because
Yeah.
we also have 4 goals as our final
That's
score.
right.
So.
No, that's right. No, and I think David and Bernardo Silva are pretty tasty at.
Let's put it on David.
Are the score bets just generic scores, or is it like
No.
City 4-1?
Yeah, you have to bet.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just wanted to
the
make sure.
exact score.
That would
yeah.
be really wild if it was just like, yeah, 4-1, we don't know them.
Well, that's just you just bet the total goals for that, right?
I'm not here for your logic.
Facts don't care about your feelings, Gabe.
Right.
Okay, we're putting them
Cares
in.
about my feelings.
All right, we got possible winnings of $700 or $73.45 off of $8.
Yeah, buddy.
So
And we'll put
It
it
sounds like a
all
good
on-
retirement.
And we'll put it all on the
This sounds
over for
good.
Maryland, Illinois.
we're just this is to demonstrate that
That's
we
a good
could be
bet.
retirement planning
You should look
specialists.
up what the over is for Illinois, Maryland, though, because the over
Okay.
probably will take it.
What is our what are our potential winnings here?
$73.
Yeah,
Oh,
except we obviously can't win them all.
Right,
because-
right,
Oh, right, yeah, because they contradict each other.
Well, some of them,
Damn it.
not all.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
some people swear that you shouldn't do that shit, but fuck
Well,
it.
you definitely should hedge. That's
No,
the only way
not
to make
that-
money.
No. Not that you shouldn't hedge. You just
Yeah.
shouldn't do contradictory bets.
Oh,
Like you should pick a spread where theoretically you could win everything.
that seems
Right.
stupid. Yeah.
That's what screwed me over.
Especially that's why I like betting soccer because you can bet like 3 outcomes, so you can still make money like pretty easily hedging stuff.
What's the over/under on this?
We got Illinois is plus
Wow.
10.
I feel like
feel like it is-
I mean, what's the over? What's the money line?
145 and a half.
Oh,
I feel like
oh no,
that's-
the money
What-
line
Oh
is
no, yeah, yeah.
400 for Illinois and 600 for Maryland, minus 600.
Okay. You said 145 and a half, though?
Because I do feel like the correct outcomes are either Illinois wins or Illinois gets blown out. There's like, can you see a scenario where Illinois plays them tough?
I don't
the
know.
whole
We
time and
we
just
play them
falls
close
short?
every time.
I think playing close in the first half is definitely a reality.
This is
No, I feel like the first half we're gonna go down
You
again
start
like, by like
slow.
20 points.
You start
So
really
does, I mean,
slow.
so does Maryland. That does
Yeah.
the exact same thing. So.
So this is gonna be like a 10 to 15 like
Yeah.
first half. Classic Big Ten basketball.
Love that college basketball, baby.
Dude, I remember when so my both my parents went to Michigan State,
Ooh, that
And-
over might be a tough.
and we I remember watching the year that they won the national championship in 2000, and they played Wisconsin in the Final Four, and I think that game finished at like 42 to 38.
Oh, yeah.
And there was literally like I remember there was like a 7-minute scoring drought for like both teams.
I remember-
it was like the most boring game I've ever watched in my life.
I remember watching at my mom's house, sitting there for the entire duration of the game. Penn State 36, Illinois 33.
Jeez.
I watched the
was
NC
20
State.
Wow.
Was it NC State Miami last year? That was like, or was it Louisville, where it was like 27 to like 30 or something.
NC State had one, or no, it was VTech. NC
It was
State
VTech,
VTech
yeah,
had
that's
like
right,
some of the worst. Yeah.
The
oh
final
my
score
God.
was like 40 something to 20 something.
I need to look that up. That
I'm
one was
pretty
fun.
sure the losing team had 27.
The NC State one was definitely 27 for State.
I'm gonna unpause this
I
because
should
I
get going
am
to the
ready.
finish minutes. Just to heads up.
Okay, so let's get this in. Oh shit! Pause. Let's get this in in the last 10 minutes. So I've learned something interesting about you, which is you legitimately, as far as NFL teams, you legitimately like and are fans of, not ironically, the Vikings, Redskins, and Bengals.
That's right.
That is correct.
Those are my top 3. Although the
How did-
Redskins have kind of moved to number 3 or 4.
Okay.
4.
How does that happen? How does that happen to a person? What went wrong?
Well, I was born here in Washington, D.C., and my dad is from Minnesota, and we moved back to Minnesota when I was 12, and he looks like the Vikings logo. He just is that guy.
Okay. Okay.
It's like I'm half Norwegian, so literally we're descended from Vikings. And then the Bengals, I just always love the underdogs. And, they've this goofy,
Yeah.
tacky, stupid,
Yes.
ridiculous uniforms that I just always loved.
They are great uniforms.
Uniforms are amazing. Yeah.
Helmets are so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose helmets?
The Bengals.
Bengals.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Pretty solid.
Let's switch. to-
What do you think about the theory that Ohio State is the Highlander of Ohio and is cosmically killed the other teams to gain their power, and so only Ohio State can succeed while the rest of them fail miserably? Do you think that's correct?
Yeah, I mean, that stuff that's life or death. I
Yeah.
think with Ohio football, especially college football, because I remember, what was his name, Bo? That guy who coached Michigan, shoot the ball.
Bo Schembechler.
Yeah. He killed himself. So
Did he kill himself?
No, but he died. He died.
I thought he had literally committed suicide here.
He may have.
All right, no,
I think he did. I think he did.
Stress-related illness or something?
Midfield of the particularly bad loss to Ohio
Well,
State.
it was right when they were about to play
Do you have the
Ohio
remote?
State.
Want to turn it up? Oh,
So they were
Jeez.
like,
phone. I think it's under your butt.
so he died right before a big game, and so everyone was
TV?
like, win it for the
Yeah.
Buck.
Oh, I can just turn it up manually in a minute.
Okay.
sir.
So I think
No.
he
So how many
he
games?
may not have like physically killed himself, but mentally he was like, I'm going out
Mentally
right
killed
before the
himself.
game.
How many games
Mentally.
have you actually watched this year of these three teams?
Probably 5 in total. I watched the
Okay.
Seahawks Vikings game on Monday. That was
The Vikings are the most
Yeah,
tolerable
your
watch
glass
of any of
too.
those three by far.
Maybe some
they'll
this murder
yeah
in the
they'll
river.
do well and then they'll just like eat it at the last second. It's tough.
Is the Vikings way.
Yeah.
It's weird how teams have identities like that. They like go. They don't make any.
Yeah.
They don't make any sense, right? Because
Yeah.
like it transcends coaches. It transcends players. It transcends everything.
Right.
It's like a decade later. It's the same team identity, even if the general manager has changed, the coaching staff changed, all the players. Like for example, the Bears cosmically have been divined. They must have a good defense, perhaps a running back or two, and a quarterback that will always screw them over and they'll never be able to win. Like that is doesn't matter who's coaching, that will always happen.
Yeah.
It is the cosmic fate.
I think there's something to that. Like there's just sort of an internalizing factor that comes with playing for a certain team. Like the Bills, when they're in their kind of sort of
Yeah.
heyday, when they were losing all those Super Bowls, they were like, I remember hearing they went into halftime with the lead, one of the Super Bowls, and then they came out like really depressed because they're like, we're going to lose. This is just going to happen. So you just like
Interesting.
internalize inevitability.
Sins of the father in a way.
Yeah.
Sins of the coaching.
The Ravens
fathers.
the Ravens are the exact same way when it comes to like the dedication to defense, at least.
Which
And
is
that's
why
what-
it's so amazing.
Yeah.
When, like Lamar Jackson comes on the scene.
Exactly. Like I've had to endure as a Ravens fan, watching like the likes of Kyle Bowler, Trent Dilfer pick up, play some quarterback. Steve McNair wasn't bad, but he was well past his prime.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was exciting for 3 seasons, and then he won the Super Bowl.
Was he elite though?
And then that's a good question. And now it's like arguably one of the most electric players in all of football, and far and away one of the most exciting players in college football history is on the team. And it makes no sense. And because of that, I guess cosmic shift, it concerns me
Yeah.
that they're just going to flame out horrendously.
So you're a Ravens fan.
I am a Ravens fan.
Do you feel like it's less? I'm sure having Lamar Jackson is incredible. Like it's incredible to watch. But do you, because you've forged a team identity around, like you know what the Ravens are. The Ravens are good defense, shitty quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Is it less enjoyable in a way to watch a team that flies in the face of like what you think of as Ravens? Like this is the Ravens football.
Not at all, just because Lamar Jackson is just doing
It's
some
still
of the most
incredible.
amazing
Yeah.
shit possible. I would say if it was like a few steps down, obviously, like we're talking an MVP level performance. And maybe I would in some degree, but to be honest, I really can't imagine ever thinking, Lamar's fun, but this isn't Ravens
Yeah.
football. I mean, I think anyone who thinks that, like, grew up in a certain part of Baltimore that...
For sure.
Make him a linebacker.
Yeah.
Get him on defense.
It's certainly, I think it is sport specific. Like, I think college basketball is huge on that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, for example, I could see Boeheim leave Syracuse, a new coach comes in, switches them to like man defense,
So not
and then like they make a Final Four, but as soon as they start to struggle, like the calls for firing that guy are going to be massive because they're just like there's an inherent thing of like this guy is just not doing Syracuse. He's just not. He's not the right fit for Syracuse. He made a Final Four like 2 years ago. Like he's not the right fit for
Yeah,
Syracuse.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
If
He's not
I-
a Syracuse guy.
Yeah.
If I may say, as the 100x Manchester Derby has just kicked off, that the longer I feel that a sport is a league is in existence, the ability of clubs and teams to cling to their identities has diminished because, I mean, what was the identity of Man City forever was just being some collection of mediocrities that were forever in the shadow of Manchester United, and suddenly here comes oil money, and City are clearly the better of the two teams, and suddenly the historical record doesn't matter so much anymore.
Yeah, it is weird to hear it is weird to think about a fucking NFL team or something having that, because it does feel so much more like a college mentality.
Clemson to a certain degree is started to wipe away that.
That's
mentality.
true.
Because before it was clemsoning, right? They would just find a way to choke at the end, and now everyone. If you saw the national championship last year, they fucking rolled up Nick Saban in a rug and threw him in the river. Just that is not Clemsoning that we knew. With a freshman, sophomore quarterback at the time? Ridiculous.
Maybe it's easier for teams to keep their identities in American sports because there's no relegation system, and especially in the NFL where there's strong revenue sharing and things like that. It's easier for a team to just completely write off a season and be like, you know what, this wasn't the way that we at the Jacksonville Jaguars organization envision our brand of football. But you know what, we're just going to tank for a draft pick and we'll get it right next year. And you can't have that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going down. Look at a team like Leeds United, who for decades and decades in the Premier League were maybe not consistently winning, but they were always in the top. They were always competing. And then something 2 decades ago, they just went completely bankrupt. And they're still in the championship, the step below the Premier League, but they're trying to fight their way back. And whatever identity they had is just completely gone to shit.
Do you follow them at all?
No, not at all, because they haven't been in the Premier League for a long time. But
that's fair.
A good movie that sums up what Leeds United used to mean is called The Damned United, but it's about Brian Clough, who managed Nottingham Forest and Derby County for the most successful runs.
Is this CUYFF?
CLOUGH.
Oh, this isn't total football.
Stop.
No, that's Johan Cruyff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thinking of the Dutchman.
Yeah. But I think they had similar philosophies. Cruyff, I don't think Cruyff was really that great of a manager. He was just a great player. But Clough was a very good manager. At least his record. That's what that his record reflected that. But in stuff here early in Manchester, honestly, both teams could have scored so far.
Yeah, which is a big surprise.
Yeah,
not looking good for 4-1.
We're not even 10 minutes into the game.
Yeah, no one scored.
We'll
yet.
open up.
It'll
open up.
I'm ready to make decisions.
This game could still end 0-0. So
You're right.
Yeah, pause this one.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready for the win.
It'll be 27-32.
We're all getting together for the big win.
Here you go. Okay,
All right,
so.
I have to take off.
Oh no!
Okay.
All right, we'll see you later. Andy.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Take it
You should
easy.
do this again.
Yeah.
By any time.
We'll have you on the regular
you are-
show.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Good to meet you, man.
We'll switch to regular couch cam. There we go.
should I move to the? Should I?
Yeah, if you want to move to.
I think it's probably a better angle for it. 'Cause
Yeah.
we have a camera that's set up right there.
Oh,
Okay,
there we
let's
go.
do that.
Now I
Let's
can
do
see
that,
the
yeah.
game. Now I can see the game. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think De Bruyne looks his usual dangerous self.
Oh, Jesus.
He is a
And,
good
He's
player.
got mugged.
Nice.
A little surprised Man United didn't score on some of their attacks because City.
Ederson stepped up. I mean, that was the first, at least the first save was mildly impressive.
Nail
The
it.
second one,
There you are.
Right in his chest.
Yeah, Dan James. He doesn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to have all the pieces together. He looks dangerous, but I think he still has some maturing to do.
Sam, how did you get Manchester?
I had English friends growing up.
Did you go up there?
I also, yeah.
Okay.
I also played soccer, at a young age, a lot of American kids, parents of a certain age just don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, bang bang.
And that's how I was introduced to it. Varying interests throughout the years, but it sort of stuck. You know, by the time I was in high school, middle school.
Terrible shot.
Have to catch a bus.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
man.
Do you want red or green?
Oh, green's perfect.
Green's perfect.
Is that green?
Sam, by the way, we have Kratom.
Hell yeah. I might want to bust out some marijuana. Also, I think what helped me get into soccer too is that when MLS first started, DC United were like the best team.
Yeah.
They won like 3 out of 4 of the first MLS games.
It wasn't the same with Chicago, honestly. Chicago won like the other one. And,
Yeah.
And like, the problem with Chicago is they put the fucking stadium out in the middle of, like, in the suburb that like nobody goes to. And so, but they're coming back to Soldier Field for this.
For two.
Which means
It's a classic MLS. It's not a real MLS game unless they're playing football field.
Make it. Come on.
I did this Charlotte thing too so badly.
Oh, there's a Charlotte.
Yeah, they're bringing it to Charlotte.
They're going to they're now at 30 teams in the league.
Should they be able to do relegation, I think?
Yeah,
Which
They
would be
won't,
kind of
they
cool.
won't, because think about it, they'll never do that.
Americans care too
Well,
much
no,
about
but
money.
the way that the league is structured is like you bought into
At the
the
buzzer.
structure, and like nobody's gonna be like,
That was funny. I'm sorry.
You
That
saw
was,
him
that was funny. He literally just underhand threw it. It looked like he underhand threw it
oh, the class.
from behind half court. Like,
But no, like the way that the league is structured, it's like you. Is that you're basically buying into MLS, and no one's gonna be like, and like they make you buy this like soccer only stadium, and it like has to hold like I think like at least 45,000 people, like all this areas. It has to like hold all these amounts of people and all this shit, and like so no one's gonna agree to like do relegation. So like I bought into the fucking Major League Soccer, and to be fucking USL League 2 or whatever.
Which is a shame. I
The
mean,
turnover.
I think all American sports should have relegation and promotion just because it's like, if you're a fan of a team that's like tanking, and like you get the logic to it, and you're like, okay, next year they're gonna be good. But I mean, like fighting for your spot in the league is pretty epic.
Well, it's because American sports have always been about materializing the product as opposed to like actually creating like something that is entertaining.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like if you look at baseball.
I haven't scored a
Yeah.
single point. I haven't scored a single point.
What?
I think they might give that possible
That's-
penalty.
Are they
No,
gonna,
that was way back, wasn't it?
that was like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, that was-
Oh shit. Okay, sorry.
We're not going that
Spaced
far.
out.
It's all good.
Controversy.
They only just showed the replay.
An early glimpse of VAR. Sorry for
8
people on the
of
street
3.
who keep switching between.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just like what American sports has always been about. It's like monopolizing like the product for the country, or even most of the time the world. Like they know better than soccer. They'll never get that. But but like they do want like MLS is directly trying to like monopolize itself as the soccer product of the United States. Like so, it will never, they'll never do anything with the position.
Which I think, as a whole, is just kind of how American business is also working.
Oh, yeah,
Like, Amazon doesn't want to be Amazon, a delivery service that keeps
At the
you
buzzer.
It wants to be your one-stop shop for television,
Maverick.
and it wants to
Win
be
the
the internet.
game.
I mean, like
Yeah.
Amazon Web Services.
Yeah,
Not every app wants to serve its consumer base. It wants to be Lex Cooper, and to a certain degree, and I mean, like the people who own Deadspin wanted it to be the go-to spot for people to go read about sports. When it's like, well, it's not. When it's not
saved by Edison.
when it's like not so much that, but it was like serving its own niche market for a reason.
Yeah.
Welcome to NBA Jam.
No, like Americans will never get their head
I'm limited to one per hour.
around.
Okay, we got some
Well, I will
comments.
say I was working on a story of how Mitch's bets been great for it all happened. So I'm kind of upset because I kind of thought I could have just pitched it. Like, I actually got published and pitched it right after. Like, I think I literally messaged you like about like how to like go about it. Like, really, like entire pitch, and like I think it was even later. And it's like I decided to like just fucking quit trading instead of like work on the pitch and like that week.
Showtime!
And I was like, well, I just knew that was gonna happen, and I wasn't gonna
Tonight's
have
matchup,
Casey.
Jazz versus Maverick.
Anyone want to hit this pipe here?
I am good.
I'm good for now.
Good.
Okay.
I forgot to bring my fucking card.
All you.
I have to do the 1-to-1 so I can.
I'm rereading the Tech NC State score. 47-24 was the final score. NC State shot 9 of 54 from the field, 60.7% for this game, and 2 of 28 from 3. There was only one NC State player who had 3 shots from the field. He went 3 of 13.
I remember watching. So I watched it because I was in Charlotte. We were gonna go to the New Japan show that was in Charlotte, and I got really fucking sick. And me and Sarah had planned this whole weekend. Like I got this hotel, and we were gonna do like this whole thing. We had never been to Charlotte. We were gonna go on Friday night was the show, and then we were gonna do some other stuff. Just go out and see everything. And I got super sick like 2 nights before, and so we couldn't go to the New Japan show, but we still went. We went. So I hung out in the hotel while she was like, okay, well, I'll go run around and stuff. I was feeling a little bit better that Saturday morning, but I was like, I need to just do something. And I turned it on, and I remember just watching it. Shot like really, really long. It didn't like feel like bad, and it just like started like slowly piling on. And you're like, like man, it's like it was like 13 points and a half for like each team. What is happening?
It's like, oh, these guys are both garbage.
Yeah.
Hey, did I have my phone over there? Check my phone.
This is my phone. We'll be over here.
That's mine.
Oh shit, my bad.
You got it?
No, oh here it is. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Classic. Classic fuck up.
As one does.
Oh, we got to look at we gotta look at the political lines.
Oh, yeah, we do. How's Bernie doing?
How's the politics?
Good block. Foul?
I'm not sure they have political lines on
They had
this.
it on.
Well,
Oh no! Wait, let's try that. Where would it be? Numbers game. Olympic politics. Here we go.
Ooh.
There's politics. Ah, yes.
Okay, we
all
got
those
Will
things.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders run for governor of Arkansas.
Give me those odds. Give me those odds.
Yes is -250. Holy shit!
What does Vegas know?
Any wagers placed on the same day news becomes public knowledge will be deemed. Oh, is that? That's why I always think about like the reality show betting. It's like I could have just written the fucking episode and then go on and bet it. You know. U.S. presidential election, Democratic Party. It's even at 115 for both of them.
Really?
Really great look for the Democrats there.
yeah, I mean it's also possible it's an irrational market and that maybe the I don't know. I would be nervous betting on the Democrats even with Joe Biden. I mean,
Yeah.
he obviously he's doing well in the polls, but he does strike me as the type who could fucking
Well, it should be an
collapse.
election where that's -9,000 or something.
To,
you know what I mean?
To win the presidency, we got Donald Trump at +125.
Holy shit, he's the favorite.
He is the favorite.
Whoa.
Of course he's the
Trumpet's
favorite.
always the favorite.
Yeah.
Because he only
That
Yes,
could
it's
be
a
a
field.
penalty
That
for
should have
Man
been a
United.
penalty.
They're reviewing this
Give
right
him up.
now.
penalty and then miss it.
I
Rashford
don't think we bet on that
bundled
one,
over
did we?
by Bernardo Silva.
That's a penalty.
That looks like a
That's
Did
a
we bet on
penalty.
that penalty?
Stonewall
We bet on
penalty.
it?
No, we bet on this penalty, right?
No.
I don't even know if we bet.
I don't think we bet.
No, he's not reviewing it. Oh wait, no, they are. They're checking
We
it. Never mind.
bet.
Oh right, because it's
Wait,
purple.
it just
I'm an
says
idiot.
yes.
I haven't watched Premier League soccer in a while,
Um,
especially not since like they implemented.
we bet on an
the
own goal. We bet on.
Also, Marcus Rashford might be dead. So
We
that's
bet on. Will there be a
Just gotta
set?
bet
There
right
has to be a red card. We have to get a red card.
Oh, they overturned
Yeah.
it.
They've given it.
But
Yeah.
not-
No.
Oh, that's
We didn't bet on this penalty. Son of a bitch.
Well, we'll find out
The
how
missed
bad the
penalty
decision
wasn't a
is
good
short.
bet. It wasn't a good bet.
A better bet? Was that a worse bet than own goal?
We have Marcus
We'll find
Rashford.
out.
Oh, we have all the goals. Okay, well, You know, bets always seem so obvious when you're when you're watching.
I mean,
You're like, I knew that was going to happen. Why didn't I just do
he
it?
got him to miss the penalty. He hasn't even taken it yet. He's probably going to make it.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know it's bad until
this penalty was like
minutes.
minus 600. It wasn't a good bet to take.
No.
Yeah.
I thought VAR was supposed to solve all of this. The whole like
VAR hasn't solved the
crowding the ref for like absolute nonsense, and yet it's still happening.
Well, here he is. He's going to get a yellow card for doing it.
Gabe, what do you think? Oh, there we go. See, that's helping us though.
Halfway there.
Yeah, we're halfway. What do you think of the murder by the river? Agent Oak Barrels.
I haven't actually taken a sip.
Oh, it's from Ashboro, which I think is
Load
close
me
to
up.
me.
I've been just
Is this
using-
cider?
No, it's.
I've been having the full steam humidity pale ale, which
that brewery is by my
It's
house, and they
incredibly
have a bad Reuben.
Here we
Here
go.
we go. Penalty's about to happen.
So we
at
need
the
a one.
Etihad.
We need a one for
Yeah.
Manchester United. So this is good. I feel like they'll give up the goal, and then City.
And we
is
need
just
Man City
gonna
to be pissed off. We'll be pissed off.
and then they'll
come
run up
out.
the score, and then we'll be rich.
Ederson
Here we
dancing
go.
on the line,
One
trying to
foot
put
back.
off Rashford. Put off Rashford.
I can't even imagine being a goalie on a penalty.
Here he comes.
Here
the
it
approach.
Slow down.
Nailed
Oh!
You made it. Okay.
Nailed it.
Got him on the wrong side. Beautiful.
I have talked about. I kind of want to start playing goalie in my hockey league, and I'm like, I don't know if I have the right mentality because I take everything so personally. Like to be a goalie, you just have to forget that you were awful one time.
Yeah, you kind of have
You
to.
definitely have to have brain damage to be a goalie. Or just drink. Well, there's one goalie in the league who just drinks a lot, so he just doesn't remember that he was really bad.
So this is I do have 2 single games on FanDuel,
Okay.
and one of them has Marcus Rashford in with Raheem Sterling as captain. So I need Raheem to go off, and
Were you even set a captain? I've never played draft games.
yeah. So captain, you set a captain, and they get 1.5 times the points.
Oh, okay.
So in the single game, that comes into factor. Who is going to be the leading point scorer? You got to try to predict that. Right now, it looks like it's Rashford, but a lot of time left. And also, you get one defender, and that usually it's the captain and the defender that makes.
Do they do the same thing as our league, where they get 6 points for a goal if they're a defender? Like they get more than if you're a striker.
No, but defenders usually it's priced into defenders, and they cost less than the strikers.
Oh, okay.
Has there been a money ballification of soccer yet? I feel like the analytics.
No, I think they just spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that's
the money ball is find the oil money
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fucking spend it. I mean, I think the analytics do obviously come into play, but
So they're not tracking where these guys are running at all times.
No, they
on the
do
pitch.
that,
They
but they
do.
use it for training purposes, which is how it should be used.
They're-
they use it for training purposes. I think to try to limit injuries, predict injuries. Like if a player has played X amount of minutes, there was a shitty sort of freakonomics book called Soccernomics. I mean, it's an entertaining read, but I would
Open guy.
read it with a grain
Yeah.
of salt.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Rashford should have had a second.
bottled it. Good lord. That's
And they had a chapter about how Italian teams were they were trying to predict injuries by setting players up to a system, and they'd have them jump on motion sensors, and then they could be like, oh, this guy's knee's about to go. He needs a few days off.
Interesting.
And at the time, the average age of AC Milan was way higher
Yeah.
than the rest of major European teams. And while they still they weren't that dominant, but they still did achieve a lot of success with some older teams.
I know Hull City also did a little bit in analytics, but
Huh.
what that led to was the implementation of long throws, into the box, pretty much.
Yeah.
There was a team in the World Cup that did that too, right? That whenever they had the ball out, they would just chuck it into the box.
I remember Iceland did a lot of that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I will say the injury thing is definitely the thing that even Moneyball teams are trying to do, because I interviewed for a couple of those positions with MLB teams, And
Nice.
that was always the fucking question. They'd be like, well, how would you implement like a model to like predict like if someone's gonna get injured? I'd be like, that's fucking impossible because nobody even knows why your arm gets injured when you're a pitcher. Like we just know it's not a natural motion for your arm, so it's like a guess. It's just a fucking guess.
You said
Rashford in another good spot.
Oh,
Fucking crossbars.
You said instead of this dumb injury formula, how about this? I have a great idea. All you really need is a guy and a table, a laptop, a bat, and a trash can. Now listen to me out. Listen to me out. This is a good system. It will work.
Hey, don't step on the mouse.
Mouse deserves it.
It really does.
Yeah.
We got comments coming in.
We have a question. Where's the vaporwave? That's our friend Zol, friend of the show. He's done some music. He's made some very cool city pop type stuff for us. Then we have Ian Keese. Wisconsin played Pitt in the tourney a couple years ago, and it was 44-40, complete dog shit. And then the Vikings way is just missing field goals no matter the year and no matter the kicker.
That's very true.
Isn't that that's like an entire fucking subplot of How I Met Your Mother is how the Vikings suck at kicking field goals?
I think so, actually, yeah. It's absolutely just...
You know who's also a thing for? Speaking of, you mentioned him earlier, Alabama. That is their one.
They can recruit everyone but a kicker.
That's their one flaw. They cannot kick.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I used to be a Washington football team fan. Like my dad liked them and brought them up. Now I can't even bring myself to say the name. Obviously.
Sure, I get it.
It is a slur.
But so we went to one game against the Eagles when I was in 9th grade, and basically the comes down to it, and of course Washington loses on a missed field goal, and I was like, oh man,
well, there goes the bet.
Well, no,
we can.
Oh, we have 4-2. Yes,
4-2 is the big one. 4-2 is the big one.
We can still get rich.
We had to pick Man City for.
Yes.
Actually, you know what you could get right now is halftime Man United, full-time Man City. That's still a bet you could get. That's probably
let's see what it's at. Let's see
get
what
a
it's
live
at.
and play.
Yeah,
Anyway,
good lord. That's
before we get too sidetracked,
right.
so Washington loses on the missed field goal. We're walking out, and me in 9th grade, I scream, "Let's tear this place apart!" And my dad gave me such a fucking look, and it was, just because I hear it on The Simpsons, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
And that's how the riot started.
what a finish by Martial!
Yeah.
Off the post.
That could not have been closer. That's beautiful.
I still think Man City are going to win this game.
Man City is at plus half right now for the spread. So apparently the lines are shifting quickly. It looks like
as they should be.
Well, I would hope so. The better get it now before City score that first goal.
Yeah.
What is it?
Halftime Man United, full-time City.
Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. We got.
Or even halftime draw, full-time Man City.
That'd be nuts. That one's 1,400. That one's 1,400. How much time we got? We got 30. That's
15 minutes.
15 plus minutes.
That's a. All right, we'll go for it. We'll go for it.
Do them both.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one.
They're gonna come out.
We're rich,
halftime.
folks. Rolling in that Patreon down.
I feel like Man City.
How
They
much
gotta
the
win this
$51?
game.
Something won.
But-
We won something.
Then again, I feel like
Yeah,
that
you're
is
stepping
something an idiot might say because they're down 2-0
What
already.
we got? Man United.
I mean, that's the thing, though.
It's not the worst analysis, to be fair.
Well, no, it's not. But I mean, they don't look as good of a team this season. Obviously,
Who? City or something?
City. No,
Yeah,
they look pretty poor, and Leicester City look right now and not just because they're better in the league.
I think they're the only ones who can really challenge Liverpool.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
Which should be kind of cool.
it sort of seems
Yeah,
like
what's his face? is who's the striker on Leicester?
Vardy.
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 He's having a great season.
He is. Yeah, he definitely is. He scored in like.
Yeah, just don't ask him what he thinks about Asian people.
Or ask his wife about anything.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Christ, that was a day, wasn't it?
We already
also, by the way, I
won.
had the thing. What was
When we
it?
win?
We won something. We won.
Will Marcus Rashford score?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
won.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh
We
yeah,
won.
yeah. There we go.
Good
Yeah,
work.
I noticed the
Great work, guys.
We did it. We
Yeah.
did it.
That's right. And that was a plus 250, right?
Yeah, there we go. We won $2.50. Hell
All
yeah.
right. So how much do we have in the tank? We need
$10. We have $10.
Okay, so we need to hit a few more to.
Yeah.
We should bet. We should bet on some Man City. If we're going all in on Man City, the big comeback, we should pick who's going to score it.
Oh, so Nate wants to go on tilt.
Well,
is what he's
I mean,
saying.
we already have. No. I mean, we already have Sterling, Silva. And,
Yeah.
the Silvas, right? And,
Yeah,
and
De Bruyne.
too.
Yeah.
To
So,
score? Yeah.
to
Well,
score, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
no,
we're already good for them.
Yeah.
But
I mean, City has had like good looks, so I'm really not like. Although it might be that classic like watching the Hurricanes play where it's like their Corsi is just like through the roof, but it's like they couldn't.
They
get
can't finish.
Yeah, they can't get anything in the net.
I mean, I think they'll score. The Man United aren't keeping a clean sheet this game, that's for sure. And let's hope they score a bunch. Anyway.
So,
That's what an hour of us grimly watching the television.
Realize
It's like silence.
Oh shit! No,
Yeah.
Victor Lindelof just scored. We might get taken to the cleaners.
So I was wondering, as a disaffected Washington fan, do you remember a breaking point where you said no more, I can't possibly follow this team, or was it just kind of like a gradual disintegration?
I think
One day you just felt free.
I think I have to feel like it would have happened anyway, and not just because the team's name is a racial slur. I'm not really that into the NFL at all anymore, and
Yeah,
I can find it hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah,
And I
there's
think
so many reasons.
the breaking point for me might have been when they ran RG3 into the ground, because I didn't.
Mhm.
I still remember caring. Shot on goal for David Silva. I still remember caring. Like, even if I didn't watch all their games with RG3, I still remember caring, being like, yeah,
Right.
RG3 is gonna turn things around for the city, and then they just ran him into the fucking ground. And
He could not have gone to a worse field for his very fragile. It's genuinely looks like a.
I don't
maybe,
remember.
I don't know. Maybe that's
You
an
know
oversimplification.
FedEx Field is an OSHA violation. Come on. That place needs to be torn down.
Yeah, the whole franchise, IMO, we should just become Ravens fans, and
I agree.
And then they'll be,
Welcome.
they can be Caps fans, we'll be Ravens fans. We'll have an understanding with both of them or something. But in my opinion, they should just burn that fucking thing to the ground. So, no offense to Anders, who was who was on his feet.
Well, I
an
think
hour ago.
Anders just wants to be, he wants to just be set free, I think, at this point.
I mean, I think most fans do, which is kind of interesting because, I mean, a realist would say, you could just stop watching them. But I also get the idea of no, I'm committed, I'm stuck here.
Of course, and I mean, that's what half the fun of fandom is watching when your team sucks and giving you something to complain about. But when it's as soul sucking as it is, if you have any sort of decent political orientation, any of those games, just everything about the Washington fucking football team is just such a disgrace, head to toe. It's just it's so hard.
Oh, Jesus! That was a near goal for United. There.
What? Another one. One thing that's easy to fucking forget too is that Snyder almost sued the Washington City paper out of existence.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah. So, he also sued Dave McKenna, former Deadspin writer.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Who wrote the story for them, and it was
went to a tool
and he also said that he was afraid for his personal safety.
Yeah.
Dave McKenna was going to physically assault him.
Yeah.
Dave McKenna is like, Look at me.
What?
Like, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Genuinely
physically
one of the
assault.
nicest people I've ever met in
So
my life.
yeah, so like the whole, I think that was because that was around the time of RG3 too.
Yeah.
And I seem to remember like being like, wow, dude, this sucks. Like everything about this team sucks. Like I could deal with a team like fucking being bad year in year out if like their owner wasn't like a literal fucking sociopath piece of shit scum. I know they're all bad because all billionaires are basically that. But Snyder takes it to such a fucking, it's such the nth degree. It's like, it's not even like, he's rubbing it in your faces.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one of the things in that Dave McKenna article, it was called the Cranky Fans Guide to whatever, the Redskins or whatever. So like, they were selling beer in the fucking bathroom. Like, opening beers right by the urinals and like selling it to people. Like, so I just feel like that. Like, can you really not just go outside the bathroom door? Like, how fucking... It's so... Anyway, there...
He was also, like... Wasn't he also one of the first owners to, like, really charge for... It was either parking at the stadium or charging for... To attend, like, the...
I think he was doing
the off-season practice.
He was doing, like, seat light. He was one of the first seat
light.
Oh!
Man City, Gabriel Jesus.
Wide.
You need that Jesus. Yeah.
Wide left word to Billy Cundiff.
That's like how being I'm a White Sox fan. Like I have legitimate. I went from watching. I went like 2 years ago, like the first 2 years of the rebuild. I probably watched 120 baseball games. Last year I watched fucking 5. Like because like they just wouldn't spend any money. Like fucking Reinsdorf is ruining the Bulls and the Sox. And he just he won't spend money. He's union busting. Like he's just a piece of shit. He's just an old fuck that's just ruining. He knocked down he knocked down the original Comiskey Park. Like I read Game of Schemes, and after that I felt so sad because it's like people wanted to save it and they had good plans for how to save the stadium and it was like a national landmark and like we could have had our own. Like honestly, Comiskey was cooler than Wrigley Field. Like. It had like way more like interesting architecture and like things like that and yeah, instead Reinsdorf like bulldozed a fucking low income housing development, like kicked a bunch of people out of the neighborhood and then built this fucking like just our stadium is literally like a fucking airport. Like that's what it feels like. It feels like a fucking airport terminal. Like it's like technically good to watch a game at. Like all the sight lines are great and like there's great food and like the amenities are nice. But it's like it feels like you're at an airport. It has no fucking style.
Fun trivia. The Sox actually passed on the Camden Yards design.
Well, not the literal Camden Yards.
Well, the designer.
Yeah, but the same.
The famous Camden Yards design. Huh?
Yeah.
It's basically.
I fuck with Camden Yards heavy.
Camden Yards sounds great. But
But
you know what's wild? You know what's fucking wild in Game of Schemes they point out is like those old fucking stadiums with the bandbox design. They actually like the bad seats were like literally twice as close to the field, and so like they were better. And like people just like said they were like, oh well, like there's those obstructed views with the fucking bars that come down, right? That was like at max like 3,000 seats. Instead, they made 16,000 seats worse. Added luxury boxes just so they could make more cash. Like, and it's like, so it's like when you find out stuff like that, because like the line always growing up to me was like. Oh, it was like too small and it was old and like the seats were bad and blah blah blah. And then like I'm reading this book and it's like that was like a complete fucking lie. Like it was just like that was just the owner saying like, oh well we don't have luxury boxes to make enough money. Like because like and that's just it's like literally another form of corporate welfare because like corporations can write that shit off as fucking tax write-offs and so like they're just like there's no income coming into the city anymore and it's just like that whole thing that like. People are just turning like metropolises into like playgrounds for fucking yuppies. Is like what the whole point. It's just like the whole city's just supposed to be an entertainment district for fucking like young professionals.
Yeah,
it's so disgusting how I mean everything about the tax write-offs for sports teams are disgusting. But especially when you think about how many like corporate boxes they do. Like it'd be one thing if like cities were eating shit and like taking huge tax bill fucking things, but also just being like. Hey, guess what? Like, tickets to the baseball game are fucking free or something, like Soviet style, like making arts and culture or whatever.
Right.
I mean, like, even the way that it's not at all like that. It's like...
It's more expensive than it used to be. Like,
by a magnitude of double, triple, quadruple.
For a significantly worse product.
Yeah.
Like, you would think if, like, this whole... like capitalism thing was working, that would be punished. They would be punished for that. And yet, here we are, still around. Nobody's. At least it would be relegated to like.
So, you know that's what's so trippy.
Relegate the White Sox is my point.
When you watch that shit like fucking Serie A, like how fucking like Spartan the stadiums are. There's just like literal. They're like it's like what the fuck else? You need a bunch of benches and like a field, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to say like things like the EPL like aren't like being subjugated to the exact same fucking like stadium schemes that anything else is.
Oh yeah, I mean the Premier League the Premier League exists as a gentrification project because it used to be the first division, and when they changed from the first division to the Premier League, like the changes had already been happening in the first division, but then it went like they went full fucking, Sky Sports Murdoch and completely gutted like whatever sort of revenue sharing and balancing.
Yeah, it was like the big six were like, all right, so here's the deal, like we're gonna make most of the money. And fucking like eat shit.
And they basically, I think a lot of the big clubs throughout Europe were like threatening to break off and form their own. And
they were,
to a certain extent, it's almost like already been done with the Champions League.
I mean, part of that, like, I guess that kind of like mentality can be seen in the fact that like Adam said top six. For the longest time, it was the top four. But because United have been like slipping in form recently, they're like such a big name. They produce so much revenue, and they're like a multi-billion-dollar like company in and of themselves. It extends now to the top six. That's the only reason there's a top six. Now, nobody cared about top six like 10, 15 years ago. It was always the top four, which like again carries that kind of weight. And it's also like really cool and that if a team gets relegated, it just tanks the economy of an entire city. Just like drives it into the ground. It's like, all right, now we're poor and destitute because we couldn't get 3 points against Crystal Palace in October.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is just not a fun game to play.
That is the one thing I will say. Grand. The one thing that I am not in support of relegation is that means that stadium financing schemes will go on steroids because now we have fucking 80 cities that need to have fucking full major league stadiums.
Right.
So I'm actually kind of in a way surprised that they aren't like pushing for relegation. I mean, I guess it's
relegation was never a problem when they had better revenue sharing, though. It's in teams like, and I mentioned Brian Clough before, he won the fucking European Cup with Derby and Nottingham Forest. Like these are like mid-level, nowhere towns, Nottingham and and Derby and shit.
You're like fucking Peoria, Illinois, like
right. And teams like that used to win the European League, and now they don't because everyone's gone full neo-lib.
Can you give a primer on revenue sharing? Because I'm not 100% up to date on like what. So it's not.
They used to share what they would call gate receipts. So basically,
ticket sales.
Ticket sales. They would
among everybody in the
everyone in the league. Yeah.
Well, because like English soccer is like basically administered by the state. Like the state runs like the pyramid.
Right. Most European nations are like that.
Yeah.
The FBA is like.
Yeah.
Which like
come on, get it out to the wing.
That's how the German Soccer Association basically won the World Cup because back in 2008 or 2010 they said we as a nation have decided that we are going to focus on like developing midfielders who like Swiss Army knives. They can do a lot of different things. Right. We want like 9 guys that can all handle the ball. That's why Manuel Neuer goes out to midfield half the time, fucking dribbling the ball because he's like been raised in this like FA system.
Speaking of the Bundesliga, by the way, if you ever want to point out just kind of how docile the typical American consumer is, like there were protests over the fact that tickets for Bundesliga games are going to be above €20.
Well, that's because
like, which is like, could you? I mean, like,
all teams have to be owned 51% by the supporters.
Yeah,
receipts. Like you have to buy into the team.
Which is I just recently learned why everyone hates RB Leipzig because it's owned by Red Bull. And they've gotten around. They're like they found some fucking loophole, and all the other fans hate them.
Yeah, Bundesliga is pretty cool. Other than the East German, like, I don't know, prejudices that I guess you want to call it. Like they never really fully integrated them back into the soccer pyramid. They were kind of, I guess they kind of like, because like there's like that whole like divide still where it's like East Germans are like still like the rednecks of Germany or whatever, and they're kind of viewed as like less intelligent or whatever and poorer, and so they never really when they unified, they like gave them like 6 spots in the Bundesliga, but then they never like allowed them to really like build their resources because like the East German soccer system was run by like one team basically had all the matches fixed for them because it was like whoever like I don't know who was like running East Germany or whatever, but like they like had it fixed.
Oh,
there's
what
a
a
ball.
Oh, they might call it.
Oh, don't
Finally.
you dare.
On Fred. Fucking Fred. I love Fred.
Oh, there we go. Corner.
Well, they're going to review it, obviously. We got the VAR. I don't know why they're yelling at the ref, because they have the VAR and they can check.
Oh,
that's a handball!
That's
a penalty.
handball. That's a
That's a
penalty.
penalty.
Point to the spot. Go to the spot. Go to the spot.
Fucking.
Jesus Christ.
They've got to give that.
That could not have been more blatant.
That's
We're
a
in the
penalty.
money. We're in the money. They just had to score 4 goals.
We're not gonna get the fucking draw. We're not gonna get the draw one.
No penalty!
Oh my god!
Oh Jesus Christ!
Unbelievable! Why do they have VAR?
This is
They make
bad.
decisions like this all the
I'm calling
time.
match fixing right now.
Let me look right at the camera. This is why you have to
Oh, wait.
vote Corbin, because he will fix this. He will. I don't know what happened. He will. Whatever wrong has happened, he will fix it.
Well, before
He
you,
does say that teams should be
jump to
collectively
He
owned.
does. No,
He said
Corbin,
that. Yeah.
Corbin does want to change the structure of the Premier League, but insofar as Man City not getting a penalty decision, I don't think Corbin gives a shit about that either way.
Listen, folks, right at the camera. Whatever you think is
You gotta
wrong,
switch it if you want to talk in the camera. You gotta hit transition.
well, hit it then. Whatever you think is wrong, Corbin will fix it. Okay. I'm willing to lie through my fucking teeth to get Corbin elected. So just, he'll do whatever you want. Just for God, vote for him,
Your
please.
ex won't text you back. Corbin. Your landlord refuses to fix your toilet.
He might actually have something for that one.
Actually, no, he genuinely might.
So it's halftime in Manchester, and we are getting taken to the cleaners as.
Well, we won $2.
We did win $2.
That's all we need. We'll be fine.
Did we do we bet anything on Illinois, Maryland?
We have not.
We need to do that. We need to do that.
So I really need a few things to happen. One of them being a Raheem Sterling goal and a Kyle Walker assist.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Would be nice, but
That
it doesn't.
probably is possible.
I don't know.
More likely the Sterling goal, but still.
I mean, it's possible that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has learned on the job.
Yeah.
I think we have to possibly take that into consideration here because, I mean, every dipshit Man United fan will tell you that Alex Ferguson almost got fired like 2 seasons in, and they stuck with him, and he learned, and he obviously, year in, year out, had them as one of the best teams in the world. Maybe Ole Gunnar is, I wouldn't say he's the next Alex Ferguson, obviously, but, you know, there could be he could be on a similar trajectory.
He's figured it out at the very least. Like he's inched further away from like a guaranteed firing that he was like earlier this season. I'll say that.
His job looks much safer, but that said, I don't know. I could also
especially because Pochettino's out there. You have to consider that Man United will think, well, one is an obvious upgrade, even though this guy is homegrown. You know, he's doing all right, but you know, Poch is Poch.
To hedge that, though, if I could see Man City scoring 4 or 5 goals, and again tomorrow morning we'd be like, well, you know, they're gonna go for Pochettino.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm betting $3 in Oklahoma, 10.5 favorites Baylor.
Are they already playing?
Yeah, they're already playing.
Oh, okay.
I'm feeling a little bit horrified at the idea of Man United not getting waxed because I was so confident about it.
Yeah, I know. It seems foolish to assume anything other than.
Yeah, it's certainly something.
It does feel good. Like it does feel good. Like I mean, I like Man City, like its play, but like it does feel good that they lose because they are like a ghoulish, awful exertion of Southpaws from the Middle East, from some of the most ghoulish people in the Middle East.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
when I came of age as a fan, Man United were the evil ones.
Yeah.
Chelsea also to a huge extent.
Still the evil ones.
But they still, and both of them still are, quite frankly. So a part of me likes it when Man City succeeds, just because all these dipshits I know growing up were like into Man United.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking about them and them having to suffer. And me being a Newcastle fan, they could have a case.
Newcastle's a good pick.
I would love to see Man United get relegated.
So we got Illinois,
I
Maryland.
know, dude. Nothing would be funnier to me.
What do we think about this over-under of 145.5?
Under.
my gut says the under.
You think so?
I think the under though.
Have you watched an Illinois game this year? How bad that defense is?
Yeah, but
I'll
I also know how Maryland. I've looked at Maryland's scores.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like even when they crushed Notre Dame, like they still didn't even hit that point total between the two
Come
teams.
over here. Over here.
Switch the
Coda
camp so we can show
knows
it
who
off.
he loves. Coda loves me.
Here, give me the mouse. Give me the mouse.
Cool guy.
Mouse.
I need to figure out something so I can like have like use my phone to change these. Change the angles. Coda, come here.
Where's the big boy? Where's the big boy?
Oh, he wants to sit there. He's very intent on sitting in it. He likes to sit in the pillows. That's my. Don't sit on my jacket.
Let's see if we can get a nice look at the big boy.
He's got his nice Durham Bulls jersey. I try to get him an Illini jersey, but they don't make the basketball ones in Illini.
I'm still very confused as to why that penalty wasn't given on the Friday.
Or like the first one too. There was like two handballs they didn't call.
So we think the under on this one.
My gut says the under.
I say the over.
I wouldn't mind.
I need the
I wouldn't
score.
mind the over.
I would say a reasonable score is going to be 90 to 70 would be my guess.
Also, here's one I'm looking at that I kind of like is first half fading Illinois because it's a +6 Illinois in the first half, and we always come out slow. We say Maryland comes out slow too.
Yeah. Which is its own interesting dynamic, which should be fun.
We'll see.
It's basically like stoppable force, immovable object shit right there.
Yeah, because here's the thing, I don't want to, because both teams, like, we all know that Maryland, Turgeon is a turd. Turgeon's a turd of a coach. Turgeon. And we all know that Illinois is dookie as well. So I don't want to go into, but yeah, over under.
Maurice texted us, good luck, and did we get the 99 pack of beer?
Oh, no, we didn't get that.
We thought we were joking we were going to get the 99 pack of PBR.
Should we try the Panzai? The Panzai?
Panzai?
You want to try
try it?
the tornado?
Should we put like something down on the floor, or I guess you have hardwood floors. We can try it.
Yeah, let's just try it.
Yeah, well, let's put up the.
I'll put a towel.
Let's put up the tutorial video.
Oh shit!
Just
are we
one
gonna
sec.
try
One sec. One
Try it.
sec.
Yeah, you want to try with us?
I will try to one beer. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm going the over.
Here, wait.
I'm going over on this. I'm gonna buy a half point. So over 145. I'm doing it.
Cool.
I'm gonna put.
Gabe's on board.
What do you think? I mean, $2-3.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
$3.
What are your units, Nate?
$3.
What are you playing as your units?
$1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're putting 3 units on this?
Yes, I'm putting 3 units on this.
So I for the record, I only should have 1 beer. So that means I've got 1 shot at tornadoing. So I should probably not go first.
Well, we only have 6 of them, so
Okay.
So I was only planning on trying 1 as well. We haven't. So wait, here, move over a second. Let me pull up the tutorial video. They are Miller Lights. Because apparently I was reading into it, like part of the thing why he can drink so many is because I guess beer in China is like not as
it's
alcoholic.
not as.
It's just
I mean, it's still
my
chugging
favorite.
eggs and shit, which is fucking
Yeah, I mean,
wild.
like
And obviously liquor that can be set on fire.
Yeah,
which-
no, he definitely gets hammered on video. He
says he doesn't get drunk though.
Oh well, you know,
He's just-
I won't comment on that. But maybe
We're not
Kanzai is. Or sorry, no, I don't want to say that.
Are you gonna say
Yeah,
it? Are you?
yeah.
You better not say it. You're kicked out if you say he's an agent of the.
Oh no,
United States.
absolutely not. I love the guy. I was just
Yeah.
gonna say like he drinks a lot. Maybe he doesn't get drunk, if you know what I mean.
I don't know.
Like maybe he just gets back to normal. But the point is that the best Peg's Eye video is when he pulls the beer out of his jacket in the woods. He's just in the fucking woods. He's like, let me show you how to tornado, and he just like pulls it out.
All right, here we go.
Did you see the Hulk finger one? That one's my favorite. Just jam.
Oh yeah, the top comment right now is Sam Knight. Pang's Eye. I'm gonna learn how to tornado beers and post the videos at you. You're an inspiration. We're gonna have it on video.
I obviously love the guy. I just
I love him. He's great. Yeah, he's good. He's just wholesome content.
He is wholesome. You know, other than the binge drinking.
He says he doesn't drink very much though, and he says the youth are not allowed to imitate.
There we go. A true.
Because I guess that's why he got kicked off his original platform. Was like the Chinese government were saying that he was like encouraging kids to drink.
We're
Which,
doing
I mean, to
what
be fair, like
we're gonna do.
we
what
are
he
encouraged.
wants.
We're
I'm
grown.
very
We're
encouraged
men.
by him.
We're grown men.
Right.
We're
all of age.
We're of age. I won't say we're grown men.
Yeah, I would not say I'm grown either.
Okay, we're gonna go. By the way, before we go to the game, we're gonna swing by Yes Organic Market to pick up some paper bags.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
'Cause if we're down by more than 20, we're putting those bags on our heads.
That's a good way to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's an Illinois Maryland game. Is that what
Yeah.
we're doing?
And we're disappointed thus far with the Illinois' effort this year.
They said they're gonna. They said that they understand what the problem was, though.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible.
They say that.
It's possible.
Here, wait,
What's
hold
our
on.
record right now?
5-2.
But like
We've
3
only
of them
faced
are like
two real
D3
teams.
teams.
Right. These are the games where you play like
Yeah.
Butthole Technical Institute or whatever.
Old Dominion.
Our best win is against Grand Canyon State.
Grand Canyon University.
That's our best win.
That sounds like a scam.
It is a
Well,
scam.
it
It's
is.
actually the first episode of Southpaws is about why it's a scam.
Oh god.
Is
Throw
it like
that.
an online university?
It is sort of. So it's like a for-profit university that they are using. They're using like they're using the basketball team. Like they bought like a D1 pro, like athletics department, and they are using it to like show. They're like be like, oh yeah, we're like. You can be online and like have the college experience and stuff, and like they give you like a free subscription to like their TV network, like when you go to school there. But it's also like a right wing like Christian just garbage institution. But they
It's like Liberty or whatever.
it is.
Oh,
It's exactly. They're
yeah.
playing the Liberty formula, but they're even better at it because like Liberty is not as good at like building this like sports brand. Like we watched the games and we were trying to get. They had like live tweets at the bottom of the screen, and we were trying to get like all sorts of like Epstein didn't kill himself, like Liberty University or like Grand Canyon is a fucking scam, like all this shit. Like
And it's so blatantly astroturf. Like every single tweet was like, having a great time, love
Yeah.
Grand Canyon. Hope
like
they
by
can pull it out.
Grand Canyon fan, like 1989 or whatever.
Which is like not however a fan base actually tweets. Like I love Illinois basketball, but half my tweets are like, Illinois basketball sucks ass. And
Really thinking about killing myself right now.
Feeling distraught.
It's a real university, but it's propagandistic Christianity, and they host every
It's wild, dude.
game free on YouTube, and check them out one day because the
It is
production
wild.
values are like top notch in a weird sort of like culty way.
So I wanted to say that I think we're probably a few minutes still from the second half starting.
Yeah.
any thoughts on like an insurance bet correct score like 3-1 Man United or something, or even 4-0 Man United? Because I mean,
let's see what we got.
at this point, maybe.
Okay, so we're gonna get Pang's Eye. We got Pang's Eye. I'm gonna put the camera of us.
Well, you watch a lot more Man City than the rest of us probably. I'm assuming because they're the better team and they're playing at home, they're going to come out pissed.
I would, yes, one would assume,
hope.
but I mean, look, a lot of it comes down to if luck just isn't on your side, and sometimes,
Which is kind of the beauty of soccer, that it just like can come down to just the stupidest things. Of just
It
like,
is
that
much
makes
like
sense.
hockey.
People
Like
love-
hockey is a lot of frustrating. Like, well, they played the best, but then they just didn't get lucky that the puck launched off of a dude's skate into the goal. Like somehow.
I mean, it's also like Man City just haven't looked that great this season, and you have to start to wonder if Pep Guardiola has like kind of I don't want to say lost the dressing room, but like
It's a great. It's a great cliche.
yeah, but
My favorite
like
coach.
he just can't motivate him like he was once able to, and they have some
Right.
key injuries this year. Their defense isn't that strong.
He's historically a hard ass, so I can imagine that wears thin when you're
I don't
not
think he's a
dominating.
hard
the
ass.
play.
He's kind of like a celebrity. He's like a guy who's like known for coaching stars.
No, but he does have a reputation for like screaming at his players when they're still up like 4-0 and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Real Nick Saban energy.
My favorite coach, Pep Jardinera.
That's making me more. Yeah, I'm into Man City now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh no!
that guy.
oh no, dude.
That guy can get it, King.
All
Folks,
right,
if you were
all right,
watching
how
the
do we
stream,
go?
you would like this.
Miller Lite is the perfect beer to tornado because.
All right, everyone with their Miller Lights.
So did you watch a tutorial? Did we
We're gonna
watch
put it on. We're
Okay.
gonna put it on.
We're gonna put it on.
And,
So I'll give you some vaporwave. Your move. I've made up my mind.
okay. I'm gonna play the video. Okay, see.
Wait, I gotta I'm gonna send him a.
Here, wait. Let me restart it.
I'm gonna get my own.
这是为了暴露霸气。
Here, wait. All right, we have Pang's Eye.
Yeah, this is the one. He's pulling it out.
Yeah,
It looks like he took a few
yeah.
drinks already. Looks like he took a few sips.
So he says the key in it is you have to spin it and not shake it. He says that's a
这是
mistake.
为了
we
暴
made.
露霸气。朋友们想不想学？想学的话就帮忙转发一下这个视频。来，Let's go，跟我来教学。
One more time.
He's gonna show it.
我
Okay,
们
here
两
we
个
go.
教学。
We're gonna explore the world of
这
tornado
是刚
drinking.
才打开的一瓶
Freshly open beer.
然后说
Okay, so he says it's
小
freshly.
龙卷风的效果比较好一点，就是稍微
Yeah,
的。
take a little bit off the top.
Yeah. Okay, take the tip.
为什么要喝一口？因为要给瓶里边留足这个
Enough airspace.
让它下边的液体能
Yeah.
旋转起来。
I love this guy.
下边就是
So
手，
great. That's fantastic.
Oh wait, I've got
也是
to
攥上瓶
switch
子，放到你嘴边，
So
抽
one
起来。
hand.
顺时针和逆时针一样，画圈摇，一定要
Okay.
画圈摇，
So
然
you
后不要
swirl
来
it,
放，
don't shake it.
只要速度够快。
Yes, then the tornado will come.
但是说你能不能喝下去？
Then he says that the only question is that you have to be able to drink it
我建
fast
议
enough. He said it will come out
因
really
为它容易
fast.
看到你，容易给你呛到。
No one old, no one younger than
一定要
18
大口的
says.
喝，
The first bit should be gulped down so the
瓶里的
tornado
龙卷
gets
风它才
out.
不会断掉。
So we're gonna do it at the same time, or we're gonna go one by one.
一定要有
Let's go one by one.
一定要整瓶。
We can learn from each other.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, who's gonna go?
Why don't we go in this order? So Adam starts.
Okay. Oh god.
下边我给你来一个实战，仔细看我的手法和那个。
I'm like trying to get on the last
你不
tips.
要把它当成一瓶酒。
Just consider it one bottle of normal water.
Yeah, just
Alright,
think
it's just
if
water.
if you think about it just like it's water, then you'll be fine.
you only need to do 2 or 3 like that.
I think
One, two,
I think
three.
one key thing is getting it like well below the neck.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
all
not
you
just a sip.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it looks like Chinese beer. Like maybe he opened it and it's like not as full, whereas like this beer is like really full.
Here, we're gonna have to do it on our knees because so we can get it in the camera.
It's like you're. It's
See, that's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Like
you got ice, bro.
Okay. Here, wait.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Down to the neck.
Kneel before the ping's eye.
Good luck.
Lord.
Ooh. Oh.
What is this?
Oh my God.
What is this?
It comes out so fast. It definitely comes out fast as hell.
I'll say.
You're right, I can see it in there.
Oh, that's so bad.
All right.
All right.
Oh my God.
Good
All
luck,
right.
Nate.
Okay. 0 for 1.
Oh man. See
It
what
comes
happens?
out. I just felt it all just blast out. Like,
Does anyone have any sweatpants?
Here we go. Here we go. I'm sitting. I have a long torso.
Yeah, I'm probably
Okay. God, I don't want to do this.
It's okay, we don't need that. We've already committed that. Oh.
Nate.
If you wanted more evidence, then we're not.
I got some
doing
spillage though.
that. All right,
Alright, it's like in my hair.
I'm gonna do this.
We needed a clear bottle also. We needed a
Yeah,
bottle
I
to shut up
tried.
water.
I almost got highlights, but I was like, I don't want to drink highlight.
It does come out faster though. It comes.
Like, dude, like, look. I mean, I basically got half it out in like one gulp.
Oh my.
All right. Oh! King!
I don't know if that worked at all.
Shit.
I'm gonna feel like a
I
total
need to see
loser if
this.
I didn't get it.
Alright.
I barely twisted it. That's the thing.
Let me kneel before the
I didn't twist it at all.
Kneel before the king.
Alright, let's see here. It's you know, you start to feel the pressure when it's
Yeah.
your turn to step up.
My thing is you gotta really move it. Like harder than you think you should.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I see
Oh,
that. I see
yeah,
that.
yeah,
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
I'm
go.
a loser.
But that's fine. We got better as a group.
Did. Yeah.
Very good.
That was the right way to go. That was
Yeah.
the right way to go.
Oh, it's all foamy at the end.
Yeah, you can always see in
Can I
his
borrow a little
videos. They're always like, it's always just like a shitload
I
of
gotta
foam.
say,
You want to have another? You want another chance at redemption?
No. We'll
I gotta
make
say,
Let me have a few drinks first. I gotta go into a drunker, I think.
You shouldn't feel bad. You crawled so we could fly.
We did this for you,
Yeah.
the people. I don't know which camera I'm pointing at. That one.
Yeah,
The
there
people.
you go.
It's for you.
All right, let's get some Man City goals here before.
Yeah. Let's get more victories.
Yeah, I'm realizing I barely switched it at all, but I was able to get something.
Oof.
All right. The next 5 minutes will be burp chat.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Let's get some belches going in the chat slats.
Oh,
Coda's hogging the couch.
As she-
Coda,
as she should.
you're hogging the couch, buddy. He's snorting. He was on the hockey night chat trying to eat dip, and then he tried to eat the wings. This very spicy wings I made.
Those are not in Siberia. Those aren't native.
Coda, scoot over.
From-
Scoot over.
Oh,
there you
boy. Big boy.
who's a doggy?
What?
Who is the doggy?
My buddy always said, he
Do
goes,
you mind putting in your Wi-Fi?
"Oh, you're a doggy. You're a doggy."
Yes, you are. You're the dog.
He's so handsome in his fucking. I was telling
What is up?
I was telling him before when we got this Durham Bulls jersey that Dakota's wearing at the Durham Bulls game, and they
Oh God.
Yes.
they have
Let's
a bunch
try.
of bark at the parks.
Sam, if you like Wi-Fi, by the way, I got the Wi-Fi.
I'm good for now. Actually, I've got
Should I
unlimited
Should I
data.
interest you in some Wi-Fi?
Thank you.
you.
I do actually
Oh, wow.
have unlimited
Apparently
data.
my mom's
As
watching. Hi, Mom.
Hey.
That's really why you were saying, like, okay, let's not duck it too crazy.
Yeah.
I know that I said it's jobs that I'm trying to apply for, but it's really
It's really my mom. She will
So,
beat the shit out of. No, I'm kidding. No, it's. I feel like she's
we're
very
about to do
proud.
some cocaine, right?
Guys, I have ordered some 2C series research chemicals from China. Time to really open this fucking party up.
I want to say hi to Gabe's mom. I also want to say please subscribe on YouTube. If you Gabe's mom specifically, a specific message to you. I do have some shrooms though. Do you want shrooms? Yeah.
Oh no.
Maybe we should talk about this off camera. But
You can't silence
what
me.
if I
Corbin
had
will fix this?
what if I had a commercial proposition for you?
Absolutely.
Oh, we got that card. I need the
An
red card.
unrelated commercial proposition.
I only microdose. I can say that on air. I don't care. I microdose it.
That's legal in DC,
I think so.
I think. That's what happens when the federal government runs your city.
I like macro dosing.
I macrodose every day or so.
I thought about it, but I was like, what are the vibes going to be? The vibes might be pretty sinister at this Maryland game.
Yeah, no.
Not today.
Don't
Not
do a
today.
sporting event.
No. Go for
I
a
will
walk
say,
and
no,
rock
you know what's
card.
really, you know what's really ironic is most of the time I really can only smoke weed if I'm at a sporting event because I'm just like I don't have anything. Because usually when I smoke weed, I just think about how I'm wasting my life away. And but when I'm at a sporting event,
That sucks.
I'm like,
That's
I'm like,
terrible.
I don't have anything that's supposed to be going on. I'm just supposed to be having fun for 3 hours. So and at the Tool Show. At the Tool Show, I can also.
Here we
smoke.
go. Here we go.
Oh, it's corner. It's corner.
Who is that?
De
Lindelof?
Bruyne with the shot. It looks like
Something.
Sweden's finest.
Because here's two
It's gonna
scenarios.
be 3-2 is what our final score is gonna be, and we're gonna lose all of them.
You get a head full of shrooms, and either you're losing by a ton,
Head full of shrooms.
or you're winning, and at that point the crowd's gonna really. I mean, it's gonna be really fun. I'm willing if we start winning and people start jeering at us. It's gonna be so much fun.
Well, that's why Gabe is gonna have to be some sort of mediary between them. He's gonna have to talk in the crab language or something.
You should have seen us last year at MSG. We were getting more and more animated.
Really?
The first half we were kind of just respectful. And the second half we were just rubbing it in their faces. It was
As you should. I was
wonderful.
recently asked to. I was recently politely asked to leave a bar because.
Here we go.
So what happened? It was Lakers Pelicans, and it was Anthony Davis' first game back in New Orleans, and what I noticed at this place, while a bunch of people it was a normal I would say Friday Saturday night kind of turn up vibe. So there were people dancing and stuff, except for this group of 8 really douchey frat bro looking guys who were all just rooting against. I could tell they were rooting for the Pelicans because they were rooting against LeBron. And
That's still a thing you can be.
yeah, which is just it's the most annoying thing in the world. So I noticed it and I was just mildly annoyed by it. But as the night went on and I got a few more drinks in me, I was actively antagonizing them for every single time that the Pelicans screwed up, and I was just screaming at the top of my lungs. My favorite was JJ Redick had a chance to tie the game. He shoots wide open from the mid-range and misses. And I go right up to the guy, he's sitting right here. Wow, he's good at that. How did he do that? He was wide open. And I could tell the guy really wanted to punch me in the face. So I just said one more thing and I stepped away. And then this big dude comes up and he's like, "Hey man, let's take a walk." And I'm like, "That's probably a good idea." I felt.
I'll save you the trouble.
Yeah.
That is absolutely. I've been cut off a few times that way, not kicked out. But it is a beautiful moment when the bartender or the door guy will be this needs to stop.
Yeah.
And then you take a beat and you go, yeah, that is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Look, the thing is, I get it. I totally
I
understand.
take the loss.
A friend of mine in college was so drunk, visiting in college, and he was so drunk he was slumped against the wall, talking shit to the bartender as he came up to throw us out. And I'm like, dude, you have to. And then he comes up. I'm like, you don't have to say anything, man. We're showing ourselves out. Can you help me get this guy off? Like,
Though I did get the last laugh, like as we were walking out. I think the game was sealed by like an Anthony Davis steal, and like when that happened, I literally turned and was just like, "Woo!" And then,
oh, that's
like
such a
good
sweet
one.
little cherry.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. Listen,
good.
that kind of respect at the bar is the only kind of respect a bar Federal Hill in Baltimore deserves.
So
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say something just happened. Wow, someone's injured.
There are 6 pairs of medics
There?
walking
We-
onto the field with
that's-
stretchers.
That's Zinchenko.
Yeah. Jesus.
I don't think that was what Villain was asking.
No. Someone was injured. But I was gonna say there was a sequence that just happened in the derby where Man City had a corner kick and they tried to do something cute with it, and Man United ended up on the counterattack.
Blew it up, yeah.
And this is a trend in modern soccer, which is to try to get cute with like the corner kicks, which to me is like insane, because if you just take it normally and just try to like fucking whip across in there, like no matter what the outcome is, you cause the defensive team you cause them all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
Go down.
And so it baffled. Like I don't get why this happens. Like,
especially if you are the better team on paper, at least.
Yeah, and
like,
I think
just do the FIFA way, where you just whip it in there and just hope it hits someone's head.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much most of how it goes.
But that used to be like 15 years ago. That used to be like more of the norm.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is like there's this really like modern like footballer brain or something where they try to get clever with it.
I think I could be wrong, but I think that might be like one of those analytics moves that's kicking in. It's like, the short corner is more effective this percentage of the time.
I mean, and maybe I'm just being stubborn and whatever, but also like you don't have to.
Oh!
You don't have to
You
just
can
score
nice.
What are you
doing? Take the shot.
Oh my god!
But you don't have to just look at
What is
how
wrong with you?
How effective are you at scoring? You have to look at the totality of the situation, because they fucked it up, and Man United were immediately on the break.
Yeah.
And
let's see what they do.
It's not just about not scoring. You have to
whip it in.
Just rip that shot.
Yeah,
shots on goal.
It must be pretty confusing for people not watching both.
Good. Is that
also the thing is we're gonna be like 10 seconds behind because like how the stream works or whatever.
This perfectly legal.
You got another corner. There you go.
Insanely legal stream.
Well, not this one, but our stream itself.
Why
didn't you just rip it?
Never mind.
Oh my god!
What are you doing?
That's legal. I don't know what you're talking
That
about.
was him trying to fucking draw.
Trying to get the angle.
At this point.
That's the lightest of.
There were a lot of he had a lot of defenders.
It's not like the hip check that Bernardo Silva just gave.
Yeah, this is probably going to be I would even bet on 2-0 right now, because I don't see him scoring.
Yeah.
Because
what was it against?
Where are we at?
The thing is, it's early still. There are 30+ minutes. Man
Do you
United
see
have
anything
to do
out of
this.
Man City though that suggests
They're getting worse?
They're getting frustrated. They're getting
desperate.
desperate.
They are. But all
the
it
spread
takes
is
one goal.
1.5 at this point.
If they
Covered, baby.
If they score before the 70th minute,
we get a cover. We get a cover from Man United at 120 right now. We're at covering right now on the spread.
Plus 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put 5. Let's put 5.
Put 5 on it.
Get most of it back.
Man City has not deserved our rooting intent. We've been rooting for them all game. And
now we're back. Bend it like Beckham, baby. Bend it.
Man,
yeah, baby.
We should have done a correct score of Man United 3-0 or something.
It's all good.
Oh well. I think we've lost.
But I'm telling you, it feels like that. But
what would Peng Zai do?
Peng Zai would probably keep the faith in Man City.
He is. Peng Zai is a Spurs guy.
He's a San Antonio Spurs fan.
He's a class.
He's a
Duncan.
They were gonna win.
He's a Duncan era Spurs guy.
Yeah. Man, I was at a friend's.
That was literally the best thing.
How are you?
up?
How you doing?
Hey.
Yeah, that was like that finals is probably one of the greatest.
I watched that
Last
with
part.
a guy that I used to work with when I worked at the restaurant.
Mhm.
I watched it with a guy who's from San Antonio, huge Spurs fan, and we were sitting at the bar after we had gotten done with the shift, and it was like nobody was in there. Like we were sitting in a closed restaurant, like drinking, and like pulling the beers off the tap, like while the manager was closing and stuff. And when Ray Allen hit that shot, man, I've never seen like a man just get so low. He just like he instantly just like went and like poured like like the top of the beer.
It was Lopez, right?
Yeah, it was Lopez. Yeah.
Brutal.
But then the next year was when they won again. And Manu, remember when Manu had that dunk in the last game?
It was over Bosch or
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like barely grazed the rim.
Here's a good one. I'll start it off. If you could be an NBA player, and you can't be a star, you cannot be a star, what would your play style be? Because I have one, and my play style, if I could not be a star,
Mid-range jumper, baby.
I'd want to be a Boris Diaw. I want to be Boris Diaw on those Spurs. He was amazing. He could do a little bit of everything. He was always in the right spot, at the right time.
He was drinking
making
lots
the
of
right
wine.
pass. He was drinking wine. He was being pudgy and still being very effective. That's who I would be.
Boris Diaw was a key player on two very good
yes, he was.
teams.
And the Suns too.
Yeah,
very good.
Although people blame him for like losing them those final.
Oh, whatever.
I want to be I want to be Dante Jones, where I come in and just clothesline a star, and then
I want to be fucking.
But I'd be ripped as hell. That's mostly what I want.
What's his name?
I hate my body. Is my point.
What's the guy who was on the Heat? Mike Miller.
Yeah.
Oh!
I want to be fucking Mike Miller on those.
I'm rooting
Mike
against
Miller's
you now. I'm rooting against you now.
I remember the three. Remember the three he took without a shoe? That was.
Yes.
How late are we on to?
2:30. So we got about half an hour left.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let's keep it going to 4.
Well, we gotta go to the alumni. We're going.
We do.
We gotta go mingle with the power elites. Maybe Mike Cernovich will be there.
Should I have not?
Mike
Should I not have worn a Maryland hoodie?
It will be
Creepy Mike.
We'll say you did grad school.
Yeah.
We fucking like we come up, spill a drink on my service.
Just say you lived in Allen.
Okay.
No.
Is he gonna be there? Or did you just
Mike
maybe-
Cernovich? No, he won't be there.
But
That
like,
would be incredible.
it'd be great if you
But he is a grad of Illinois.
you intentionally spill a drink all over his shirt and go, Vic Berger sends his regards.
Yeah, him and the Google guy. Remember the Google guy who posted the manifesto about women?
He went to Illinois.
Those are he did grad school, in Illinois,
okay.
so it's not like
Oh, 3. Oh.
Sam Anderson.
it's
We
not
got a corner.
it's not a full. Yeah, so he's not like a full grad, but yeah, those are two big embarrassing ones. I think the president of Taiwan went to U of I right now.
Tight.
So
Sergey Brin went to Maryland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it was.
we have all the
yeah.
we have all the PayPal guys.
His dad I think still teaches math there at school. Yeah.
We also the community college I went to. David Foster Wallace's parents teach at.
Ooh.
So
You ever,
I don't know.
You
if,
ever just go up to them?
I don't
and
know.
ask
I
why?
don't know if he's canceled right now. I don't know if I'm allowed to be.
Why is DFW canceled?
Because he was very creepy towards women students.
He's also like a pretentious. He's also.
He also yes.
I feel like
Oh, they're throwing stuff.
cigarette butts. That's a derby day. Yeah, the ref has stopped the game. It appears Man City.
Red.
Oh shit! Oh, they got him.
That's a battery.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
battery.
Fred just got hit with a fucking missile.
Jeez.
He is clutching himself.
That's
Oi! You fucking blank.
classic English racism.
City fans are pleading.
Wow,
with
the
crowd
players
calm
have to
down.
come over and just be like, stop.
Look at
Calm
him.
down.
There's like
Wow.
clearly like dudes in Fred Polos and Fred
Yeah.
Perry's like in the crowd right now.
I mean,
The
that's
Main
right.
City guys
I
were
mean,
like, stop fucking doing that. Stop.
Please. Gosh, that's
Jesus
It
Christ.
is wild.
Scenes. Oh, Riyad Mahrez pointing at his watch.
Isn't
His
this
imaginary watch.
Isn't this shit like wild?
Look at that guy in the front row.
Oh, clearly,
somebody read his lips and find what he
clearly
does for a
some
living.
kind of like racist plumber and
Yeah.
like, but he's like, because he's like in the front row, he's like some sort of like small business tyrant that owns like.
Someone's getting tossed. That's for sure.
Owns a local chimney sweeping operation.
You know?
Wow. Okay, they've resumed. Yeah, they got it going again pretty quickly. That was
Good thing for us
that
that
was
we
very ugly.
What about this fucking Liam Gallagher?
That could have been really
It's fucking Liam Gallagher like right there chugging a fucking
full credit to the City players for pleading with the crowd to.
Please stop beating the black players of the other team.
Yeah.
For the love of God, stop making us look like racist dipshits.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so awful.
that looks clean.
Oh man, pushing, red card.
Yeah, we
Somebody
need
get a red
Right
card.
now, we need is Man U to cover by a goal and a half and get a red card, and then I think we're golden.
No,
we're
yeah,
closer.
Man
We're
City,
closer to the red card.
Someone needs
Man
to get the
City
red card.
is getting frustrated, so I'm betting they would be the red card. If
They
anybody
should have
gets
given
pissed
the
off.
red
Well,
card
you
for the
never
battery
know.
throwing.
Who are they going to send off? I mean,
You
they
know,
might have
whoever.
to.
You can't
Maybe
give
they'll have to play
a bench minor.
You might have to play a game behind closed doors. I mean, that's
Oh,
usually
yeah.
what
Yeah.
the.
God, that's such a
And
great,
quite
that's such a
frankly,
great
they probably
punishment.
should. I think they should have to play a game behind closed doors because that was really fucking ugly.
Yeah, wasn't
They've
great.
given it.
No penalty. No
Oh,
penalty.
yeah.
Red card. Pull the red card out.
No penalty.
What are they doing?
So that was part of my thinking. Is like it's probably harder to get a red
That's
card.
really light. I mean,
It's probably harder to get a red card in one of these games because like they're like, well, you
I don't
know,
want to inflame.
the emotions are higher. Like,
really, that's the whole. That's the whole reason why they're more likely to give a red card.
Yeah.
All I know about Raheem
I don't
Sterling,
understand the continental philosophy.
Is
Oh,
Raheem
this is
Sterling a
continental.
perpetual disappointment? Is he kind of a guy that's
So
really-
he's
No,
he's
no,
arguably
no.
like one of England's best forwards.
But on the English team, he kind of.
Well, the
I
English.
mean,
no, that's definitely Harry Kane is definitely the one who's the
Yeah,
disappointment.
Harry
No,
Kane's
I
more.
don't-
I'll say Kane is more.
Harry Kane
disappointing
can't
than
do
Sterling.
anything but fucking score penalties.
No,
Right,
that's
yeah.
not true. That's not true.
I mean, he
I
did
don't
lead the
think-
World Cup in scoring.
I think.
It's pretty good.
I don't
Yeah, but
think
he
you-
like he was in the group stage.
No,
and he
you
got
can't.
most
You
of
can't
those.
blame. I don't think you can put it down to a single England player, like
Yeah.
why they're a perpetual disappointment. I
I mean, they
think.
did make the Final Four.
Yeah, they had a pretty
And they
good
did
run.
break the penalty.
Curse,
That was their
yeah.
thing. That was
Yeah.
their thing.
And that's the thing too. Is like, should we even? Are they even good enough? Where it's like a Final Four is a good. Like, is you know what I mean? Like, if they make the Final Four,
They definitely.
that's
don't.
like overachieving a little bit. Like, should they even be considered good enough to like be?
Well, they
a,
think that
like,
they're perpetual favorites, which
Yeah,
I would
but, like, the
argue
world-
that yes, they kind of are.
I mean, based on how rich they are, yeah, they should be.
Have they even won like a Euros recently?
No.
They won
No.
one in like 2002, didn't they?
I don't
No,
think
they haven't won anything since '66.
Holy
It's
fuck!
brutal. The Final Four they made is like the furthest they've gone in a very long
96
time.
Yeah.
was they made the Final Four of the Euro Cup. They made
Was
the
that-
they made the semifinal in the 1990 World Cup too.
They were
but
beaten by
Right.
Croatia or France.
in
The
which
World Cup.
This
World
year,
Cup Croatia.
or like the last
Croatia,
one?
yeah.
Croatia this year was Croatia.
Yeah.
No, but
Man, I
in,
really
no, in
want that
90,
team to
what was
win.
it?
I really wanted that team
I
to
think
win.
it was Argentina.
Yeah,
Oh
oh!
no, it was Germany.
No,
Right,
I thought it was
yeah.
either Italy.
I think it
Oh
was-
no, Italy was 94.
I think it was West Germany in
Yeah.
'90.
Yeah,
It was
that makes sense.
Argentina in '86.
Right. The Beckham,
Germany
Beckham stamp.
is 70, 54, 74, 90, and 2000, whatever the fuck. 14?
Who?
No.
I learned
Argentina?
I learned a German drinking song about all the
Oh.
World Cups they won. It's 54, 74, 90.
So do they
and-
count the West German ones? Is that what they do?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
They do.
2014.
2014.
14, that's what it was.
Man, they're just like ignoring all sorts of
I don't
handballs.
think that was a
Sounds
handball.
insane. Yeah.
For once,
So what is it? It's like if it's like against your body and incidental, is that?
the rule is
Nobody knows anymore. That's the rule.
I know, yeah.
The rule is if the hand plays the ball and if it's also like in a quote unquote unnatural position. So like theoretically if you're a defender and you're just standing with your arms by your side and the ball comes up and hits your hand
Mhm.
and you like don't do anything about it, technically that shouldn't be a handball.
Mhm.
But if you're like running and you stick your arm out or
Yeah.
something, or if you're like if you're like doing like a crucifix pose or whatever, and then the ball hits your hand.
Yeah.
Then
Or
yes.
stigmata
Just
or something happening.
reenacting the Stations of the Cross in the middle of the game.
But even the incidental shit will still get
City, I
called.
think
Yeah.
City
Yeah.
can still pull something off.
But the reason they didn't give the penalty to the guy in the first half is probably because like putting your hand down is like good form while you're doing a tackle. Like putting your hand there to like brace yourself is like that's
That's
form.
not incidental. That's you protecting
Yeah.
yourself.
That's
That's
a
kinda
form
like
that you're taught.
Half
So
the
like,
hockey rules, even when I'm playing, like I had called for a hand pass the other day, and I have no idea how it was different than any time I ever grabbed the fucking puck out of the air.
or just rather like catch it and drop it.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is I can't. If I can, I sort of directed it, and I can't direct it to another player, but I can direct it to my own stick.
Gotcha.
Is like what it is.
Oh, and because of that, they were like, oh,
Yeah.
you're
So I
passing.
went. So what can happen is I can direct it to another player. I direct it to another player,
can't
but as
skate
long
with
as
the
if
puck in
someone
your hand.
else on the other team hits it before that, then it's good to go. It's like a high stick. Like you can't gain advantage from a high stick.
You also cannot like
That's
a foul. Might be a yellow. That might be a yellow.
Whoa! Give him a red! Give him a red!
That's a yellow.
you
Yeah.
can't move with the puck in your hand too. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if
You
catch
also
it-
can't cover it unless
Yeah.
you're the goalie. Yeah.
Right.
That's a delay of game penalty. Even if you try to cover the
Yeah,
puck
you can't do
yourself.
that. What are you doing?
It's a solid.
He just came in the game. He did what he's instructed.
Oh!
Is the problem. That's what it was.
Man,
I didn't even
that
notice
was-
the second one.
Very cynical.
It's a classic Italian
you know-
foul.
I
I
really,
love
I,
it.
really don't like these tactical fouls. I mean,
Let's just-
I,
tactical foul.
Let's just-
But that's some Serie A
I was say that was
bullshit.
pretty Mediterranean of a foul.
I mean, if
I know, dude. That's the
don't get me
game.
wrong. If I were a coach,
Italians think that that's the way the game should be played.
I mean, that is the
Like,
way.
they legitimately prefer that style of soccer.
I mean, quite frankly, that is how it should be played until they change the rule. Because who gives a shit? Like, technically, they have like, oh, if you accumulate X amount of yellow cards, you get like a 1-game suspension. But no one cares about that. I mean, players are rested anyway. So
Who
like,
is it? Who is it?
Yeah.
Who's the king of that? The guy in fucking La Liga.
Sergio Ramos.
No, yeah, Sergio Ramos. Yeah.
Red
Who just
card
like
game, yeah.
who just like being like, well, I was gonna sit out anyways, so I'm gonna just like hack the hell out of the entire team.
I think he got when he actually was dumb enough to admit that, he got suspended.
I think he
Yeah,
did.
it's
Yeah. He was like, I'm doing all this on purpose.
It's like,
What a prick.
He is a prick.
Such an asshole. Oh god, that was ugly.
I mean, it's so. I
We're
mean,
getting worse,
it's
dude.
awful though.
Who is
Like,
this guy?
No one
Paulinho?
watches. No one watches this game to see like fucking some dipshit central midfielder like
It's
try to
exactly-
break someone's legs
it's exactly
just to
the same.
stop a goal from
Aren't
going
they
in.
doing that in the NBA now? They're saying like you can't intentionally foul someone like on the break.
They're
Yeah.
trying to stop that
Yeah.
because of
clear
like,
path.
clear path,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's been a thing for
Because I want to watch some fucking dunks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I want to watch those cool like back and forth passes, and then until someone fucking like comes up in the lane and just rips one down.
plus like who wants to see these guys like get hurt?
Oh, no,
any
that
more
might
than
have
they
been
already
that
do?
terrible. That was there we go.
Didn't even get a corner out of it.
Jesus.
It's so European to be sponsored by Techno Mobile. This is APL sponsored by Techno Mobile.
Slowly resigning myself to the fact that I've totally shit the bed today, and Man City are going to lose this, and
How much have you lost today?
you know,
Over 20?
yeah, about that.
Okay.
Not ideal. I feel that.
In that area, and it's not a great feeling. I mean, yeah.
There will always be a tomorrow for you to bet more money.
No.
Say that like it's a war speech. Jeez.
But,
So in
Folks-
back-to-back weeks, Solskjaer has now like provided this holds.
yes.
Will have beaten Jose Mourinho
Oh,
and
man.
Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
That's a
Genuinely,
follow.
how many people? How many people could say that?
I found good Maryland content.
Oh,
My
gosh.
friend of the show, Lauren, is posting good Maryland content. So
Hell
I gotta put this up.
Oh yeah.
It's about the flag. It's
Oh, yeah.
I saw that tweet.
I'm replying to
I
it.
saw her tweet.
I'm pro flag by the way.
Pro flag.
I'm pro flag.
Flag's good.
I'm
To be
with
honest.
Lauren. They are too horny for the flag.
I think
think
the
there's no
flag
such
is
thing.
okay, but they are way too horny for the flag, and it's a weird flag, quite frankly.
It's okay to be horny for the flag.
It's all right.
Dude, I love the Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania. It's in
They won't even
Pennsylvania.
let me fuck the flag.
Wait,
I
let's
work
see.
here and they won't let me fuck the flag.
So this, will this one still catch it? Okay. Here, wait, let me maybe move this one a little bit. Okay, there we go. We got enough. Okay, so we got.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
admit
shit.
that those are ugly.
Dude, it's
Especially the
literally
vineyard.
a Pennsylvania flag, a Penn State. So we found. friend of
Yeah,
the
why
show-
is the Pennsylvania?
We found a
that's
friend of the show,
wild.
Lauren. She
Shout out.
posts Marylanders are too horny for the dumb flag, which is very true. It's not even really that good.
Oh,
Look at this. Look at this shit. Fucking Pennsylvania with the Maryland flag.
I'll admit that's a bit too far. That's weird. That's weird even for my standards. That's
Yeah.
I don't understand why anybody would want to be interested in that kind of stuff.
Just like I refuse to even be from here.
Yeah.
I'm a Marylander baby.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm quietly. Like,
Does Maryland even play? Does Maryland have a Maryland flag jersey?
I mean, the football team usually does.
Oh right, they
the
have.
football
yeah,
team is
yeah,
big on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, the helmets walk.
I know your
Yeah.
club hockey team. The goalie for a minute had Brian's made goalie knee pads that
Really?
were fucking blockers that were.
You haven't been to Baltimore though, have you?
I am not.
It's an extremely. What I like about it is like every bit of like Baltimore and Maryland is just. It's a weird state. I've traveled a lot domestically in the U.S. and like Maryland is extremely weird.
Maryland is.
Oh,
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I've been through Maryland. Maryland is definitely fucking weird.
It's
as
weird.
hell.
I really like it. I like how
To
weird
be
it
fair
is.
though, Pennsylvania is weirder in my opinion, and like they don't get the weird distinction. They get Philly, but like their whole state is just like Maryland's weird, where it's like Appalachian, excuse me.
Mhm.
As I learned, I'm from NC now, and I learned all about Appalachia. Yeah, they
Who's
have
the good boy.
they like Pennsylvania is weird as hell, but they just play it like close to the chest.
Yeah. But like,
All right, we got another.
even the Baltimore
sour.
skyline is weird. They had that weird thin, jaggedy building.
Yep.
It's great.
We have
I love it.
No, I'm
the
a big-
Zillico
I'm a
American
huge
Wild
fan of
Ale.
that city.
Yeah, anyone who doesn't love Baltimore is watching too much local news. Doesn't make
Yeah.
it home. Yeah, Baltimore rules.
Baltimore's cool as hell. In a lot of ways, I won't say totally, but in a lot of ways, I prefer it to DC. There are
Oh.
legitimate ways that I prefer it.
That should have been it.
I don't know. DC is one of my favorite cities in the U.S. To be honest, I love DC.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying there are ways.
I
that
love
Baltimore
DC
is
because it's so
legitimately
fucking
better.
strange.
I
But it's literally like the worst. It's the worst city in the U.S., but also the coolest city. Like it's just there. You don't get. It's just so. It's so strange.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but it's. I love fucking DC. Yeah, I would move here if it didn't cost me 3 times as much to get a fucking apartment as it does in Durham.
Right.
Like Sarah's always like, let's move back to Chicago, and I'm like, yeah, even in Chicago, like I
Yeah.
could buy a fucking house in Durham.
I feel that. I mean, there's like days where I wonder, like, oh man, it would have been cool to stay in Charlotte, but I mean,
Oh, I forgot. Yeah,
Is
you
that
were in
booming
Charlotte,
too?
weren't
Is
you?
that booming?
yeah, I mean, it was.
Charlotte sucks though.
I thought it was alright for what it
Yeah.
was. I mean, like, I
I
enjoyed
like
it.
that. What is that?
It's
I'm
the
not even
wild
like
You're
ale.
fine. No, it's an
Yeah.
appropriate question. That's fine. I mean, I enjoyed Charlotte. I mean, I enjoyed most of the like Carolinas just because
Yeah, no, it's
the food is better, infinitely.
it's nice down there. I like it. It like North Carolina reminds me a lot of like where I'm from, like because like I'm from downstate Illinois as opposed to like Sarah who's from like Chicago area. So like her conception of Illinois is like very Chicago influenced, and mine is like more like closer to Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Baby.
You're not really from downstate.
No, I'm from.
You're still north of 80.
False claim.
Yeah,
You're
but
north of 80.
I'm right on. 80.
Oh!
I'm right on 80.
Yeah. I have been in 8's Corn Fest in his town.
It is profoundly different than Chicago.
It's a good Corn Fest.
It's profoundly different than Chicago.
Is it as good as a downstate Corn Fest?
I'm saying it's not Chicago. It's not like
Yes,
it's a different vibe. It's not downstate Illinois, but it's not Chicago. Northern Illinois is a different thing altogether. It's like a weird like Wisconsin-y. It's like almost more influenced by Wisconsin than Illinois, but it's also like rural, and it's interesting. You have the Chicago influence, you have the Wisconsin influence. Probably the mixture of the two.
But where I'm from, even my accent is like half Missouri and half Illinois. So, yeah, so like when it's been good because like people in NC, they don't realize that I'm not from the South because I have half of it in my accent. I'm like, I can fake.
Sam, where do you live in DC?
Right now I live in Logan Circle.
Okay.
Which,
it's a nice area. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I just moved in with my girlfriend not so long ago,
Very nice.
earlier this year.
Congrats on the sex.
Thank you.
Nice. Logan's better than DuPont for sure. Logan, I prefer that area a lot more than
Yeah,
DuPont.
yeah, I know. That is definitely true.
What? What do you think?
So wow, this is it's holding up.
This
It's
game
still,
is like
it's still 2-0
yeah.
Man United. I think more definitively about whether or not Solskjaer is any good. I think we can maybe say this is the beginning of the end of the Pep Guardiola era. And Man City.
Oh, interesting.
Pep Guardiola
that's-
on the hot seat. Heard it here
yeah,
first.
no, that's
Dude,
that
in
is
the
my hot
EPL,
take.
you go on the hot seat real fucking fast.
I think and you know who's to say he shouldn't be? I think
Yeah.
especially with like Pochettino on the market.
Yeah, he got fired even though he did incredibly well at the Hotspur.
Well,
I mean, so he was
for that
limited.
team in a
He
way.
was limited. Oh, there's a goal for City.
Fuck!
There
Damn
it
it.
is.
Fuck!
You pieces of shit.
You fucking
Otamendi.
you. And that's not even something that we have for a goal.
No, he's a defender.
You
Trying to
motherfucker! You fucked us.
He's a sub too.
You fucked us. This is man. This is.
This is
Give me
so,
payback though, so you're tanking my Bovado account.
so
you're tanking my shit.
I'll give you $8.
So what was I gonna say? Oh, Pochettino, like so. A lot of those Spurs players wanted bigger contracts, and some of them wanted to move on. Like Christian Eriksen wanted to be sold, and they wouldn't sell him. So I think to a certain extent, the team was kind of falling apart for reasons independent of his ability as a manager. And he probably either maybe you could say, well, a good manager would have been able to, motivate his players, but I think he was also just sort of like he didn't give
This is
a
Pochettino, right?
Yeah. And so 2-1 City here, and
Oh god.
I think
They're
they
gonna
could
draw
easily-
it, and then
they
we're
could
gonna
draw.
lose everything. I hate playing for the draw. Like when you're betting, like it's like you always have to like think about it, but you're like, I never want to bet on that.
I think betting for the draw is pretty good. On,
Yeah, it's actually like that's probably why I don't win very much money when I gamble.
But my big takeaway other than daily fantasy sucks ass and gambling actually is not good at all is that
That's where we're at.
I think Pep Guardiola, even if they come back and draw 2-2, I still think that he might not get fired this week, but I think we're witnessing the end of his time at Man City.
Are they not? Well, what?
He's
place
kind of
are they
always
now?
been. He's kind of
We're in
always been.
third.
He's always been on the hot seat, even when he's winning championships. Like people have never bought it. It's like kind of what you're talking about, like what like when people are like, "Oh, you're not winning the way we want you to win."
Right.
And it's like it always seemed like
Yeah.
the fans never bought. Oh, here we go into some time wasting. Like
It could be a genuine cramp, but it's also
yeah, but Yeah, I mean, it does always kind of seem like the Man City fans never really bought into, like, they're like, oh, well, this is like fairy soccer, like, it's like shit to, like real soccer players wouldn't do all this passing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about the club itself to say what, like, to the extent what their fans are saying about Guardiola, but, like, at the end of the day, like, with how much money they fucking have, like, they shouldn't even, like, the fact that they're in third and also losing to their basket case rivals, like Man United, like, losing a derby is not something they take lightly at the organization. And especially in this year where they're barely hanging on in the title race, they should be buying the league every year. I mean, you could argue that the Champions League means more to them, and maybe there's an understanding between Pep and the club directors that, like, okay, maybe we don't win the Premier League this year, but I'll win you the Champions League.
Yeah, the Real Madrid strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if so, I would maybe, like, give him a little bit of credit and wait until they get knocked out of the Champions League.
They're spending so much money, though. Like, would you really need to have to make that?
Well, to win the Premier League, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
like winning fucking La Liga or Serie A is like not a thing. Like, if you're a Champions League quality team, you probably win it like sitting half your players.
This is a tough league to win week in, week out, even when you're the best. Like,
so basically, to win it all, to win the league, you have to go balls to the wall, like really expend everything.
It would probably, I would argue, almost be impossible without an incredible amount of luck to win both of them, as opposed to winning like La Liga
or
Bundesliga.
I mean, who's the last team to win a domestic double or triple?
I mean, it's possible. Like, he just needs to buy.
Bayern did it.
So,
for sure, but
I mean England.
Yeah,
in January, the so-called transfer window opens, and it's possible Guardiola buys, like, the defenders he needs to solidify things. Because right now, that, like, Fernandinho is playing in center half right now, and he's a midfielder. He's only playing there out of necessity, and he's done an admirable job considering.
Kyle Walker's also been playing like total ass.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's my first he's my first fucking overall. That's how I know how fucking bad he's been.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's not that he's not very good. He's just he hasn't been up to the standards of a Premier League winner.
Yeah.
To be fair to him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be great in Bundesliga or Serie A or La Liga. Maybe his MLS window is opening up.
That's an insult.
I think.
What do you think about Ibrahimovic? Where is he gonna come in? Is he gonna, like? Because they're saying like that he's asking for like a fucking insane amount of money to.
That's like 37.
Yeah, like he's trying to go back to La Liga.
One more. Come on.
Cover. Oh, that's corner. They can cover.
Corner. Come on.
Cover for us.
I like how the coach is named Gunner. That's my level of analysis of this conversation.
Thanks for the contribution.
Thank you.
Oh no, Sarah's parents put her dog down today.
Oh jeez.
Oh, that's a bummer. Oh yeah, speaking of, we didn't really mention it, but Audrey could not join us today because her uncle passed away. So yeah, so
we're thinking of you.
We're thinking of Audrey. Have a good. I don't know how to put
that. Have a good. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh.
This thing on the NBA Jam is for him right now.
Guilty.
Why is that there? Why is guilty there?
I don't know.
Just say sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss.
That's all you need to say.
I have had literally like I had like not very many.
Are you gonna
people in
finish
my
any
life.
of these sentences?
I've had not a lot of people in
He's
my life.
rattled.
Yeah.
He's really rattled.
I can't hit the shot anymore. I haven't had a lot of people in my life die, so I'm like never very good at speaking about it.
Obviously.
Thanks, Gabe. Thanks, Gabe.
I can speak for everyone who's not Vilman and say that we are extremely sorry for your loss, and
Yes.
we wish you nothing but the best, you and your family, and we're thinking of you in this time. How fucking hard was that?
I tornadoed a beer all over myself.
Well, we drank a lot more than you because our tornado got into our mouths.
Fuck you.
This alumni event's gonna be a shit show, man. They're all gonna show up. And
I
be
wonder
like,
what it's gonna be like. How old do you think, and like, how money do you think the alumni event is gonna be?
It's not gonna be as old as you think.
No, I was gonna say, because did they, when you were in Orange Crush, did they bring out what's the like adult student section, the netminders or whatever it is?
Jesus.
It's like, did they come on your last day like, all you guys are seniors, and like, just so you know, there's like an opportunity for you.
I wasn't in Crush as a senior.
Oh, you weren't?
I got really pissed off with the fundraising aspect.
I'm gonna say
of
we
it.
still get the red card.
And Man City have about 90 seconds left.
I just had a bad
equalize. It's not looking
experience.
good.
Or get a red card.
I had a bad experience fundraising.
Great,
where I
and
would-
Kyle Walker just fucking ate me in the fucking goddamn fantasy league. What were you saying, Nate?
I had a bad experience fundraising for the Crush because I went to a bunch of my hometown bars that had Illini neon signs up there, like, oh, we're an Illini bar, and I went up and like, I go to Illinois, and I'm an Orange Crush, and we give money to charity, and like, would you donate? And they're all like, oh, no, sorry, like, we can't give you any money. And I'm like, give me your fucking sign, give me your neon sign, it's mine now. I should take the sign, it is mine.
Oh, look at that.
Alex
brimming
Ferguson
smile.
smiling.
As much as he can.
94th minute. This is
To say that we didn't see this
embarrassing
coming
for Man
might
City.
be an
an understatement, if there ever was one.
Yeah. This is, I don't know, is this better or worse than last year when they were up 2-0 at half and then United comes
worse.
back 3-2?
No, it
was
wasn't
like a
3-2.
just
I
total-
thought it was 2-2.
They've looked
Yeah, it was
pathetic
a tie.
in
It
this
was a
game, though.
tie. Yeah, it was.
They've
It was,
looked
I could have
truly-
sworn they won.
No.
it was a draw. Yeah.
Because
Just felt
like
like a loss.
something is wrong.
Wait!
Oh,
Jesus, dude, they just like look like they
Jesus
He
Christ.
hit his own dude.
look like fucking snake bitten.
This gotta be worse because like
They look like a man jacking off with the non-dominant hands.
there is something to be said about like when
Yeah, they do look like that. Actually. There it is.
yeah when something
Final.
happens.
Yeah, it was 3-2. Like I said.
Yeah, 4-1 Man City. Boom.
When you're the better, more
No,
talented
this
team.
is the game I was talking about.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. It was 3-2.
You're the better, more talented team.
Wow.
You can't get up for it. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing wrong here except they emotionally could not get up to it. They
Right.
couldn't. They couldn't.
And now they
act
still
on
have to
it.
fucking go play them in Old Trafford now after this too.
I thought they already played.
Did they?
No,
already
no,
play?
no. There's another
Yeah.
one in March.
Wow, that was, just say no to gambling, folks.
Yeah, if you haven't learned, it's an addiction. It's ugly.
This is,
So, but still, it's probably safer than your 401k in fucking 30 years.
certainly more fun.
They should make your Bovada account tax exempt.
No one's ever had ups and downs watching their fucking 401k tank every few years.
Yeah,
The
nothing
thing
was
with-
weirder than my fucking advisor telling me, oh no, it's actually good that your 401k is tanking in the first 5 years, so that means you're going to make more money in the end. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't get that. They're like, don't worry about it. It says,
I was saying, gambling is like up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. 401k is like up, wrecked. You're out.
now you're retiring when you're 75
Yes.
years old. Yeah, I mean, this is so wild that, like, we agreed to that system when, like, you know, it was like, oh, yeah, I'd rather just have a pension where I make, like half my income for the rest of my life after I'm 60 years old. Like, that just seems, you know, pretty decent. We could probably come up with something for that. And instead, we have this thing where it's like, oh shit, like yeah, you entered the workforce in like an odd numbered years, and like now you have to work an extra 10 years to have enough money to retire.
Turns out there's a major economic recession every 10 to 15 years. And you entered like year 9, so sorry about that.
Yeah.
What rules for me is I graduated from college in May 2008, so
Nice.
Good year.
that, studies show that shit sticks with you.
For life, yeah.
For life. So that rules. And
You at least have a good college basketball team that doesn't disappoint you.
Where'd you graduate from?
McGill University, so absolutely no good college basketball team.
McGill.
Is
Like
McGill the one that puts up like 180 points all the time?
McGill is in Montreal.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh no, they have a great team.
They're an engineering. They're an
Do
engineering
they?
school.
If they do put up a lot of points, it's just because the Canadian League is just like the worst. They had a good hockey team
Yeah.
when I was there. They had a decent hockey. That was my big regret is I never actually went to a hockey game when I was there. I went to a Montreal Canadiens game, but I never went to
Yeah.
Are you Canadian, by the way?
No.
He's from
Yes.
BC.
Yeah.
Went to McGill just go to good school for what you wanted to do.
It's a
Good
great
school. It was like, it's
McGill is
it's-
actually responsible for the modern NFL too.
Well, it's affordable too. It's like it's so whatever.
Yeah.
My parents paid for it, but that also felt like good that I wasn't paying that it wasn't costing just an obscene amount of money, other than a mildly obscene amount of money. Just, but what was I gonna say? There was
tattoo
no
of like an entire novel on his fucking pec is awful.
the sports program is like whatever.
Is it the same in like do they have or is it just basically like intramural in between schools in Canada? Like, what is the college sports
They
system?
play. They play other colleges.
Is it as high level as the NCAA?
Absolutely not.
No.
I think especially because in hockey, if you're any good, you go to
Right.
juniors.
Yeah.
That's a terrible tattoo, though.
And the
wings
college
there.
hockey system, I think
Yeah.
even good Canadian players might even go to schools
Yeah,
in
they
the
do,
US
yeah.
over schools in Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Great.
it's nothing to write home about at all.
So it's basically like our club system here, like in college. Like Illinois only has a club hockey team, but it plays at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
So they're fun to go to, but yeah, it's like, and that's like honestly what I wish college sports just kind of was at. It's just like, well, if you're like good enough to be a professional or like make a play at professional sports, like just go play in a professional league or we come up with something like better, like at least more open about like what we're doing. Like Cuba, like if you're a professional athlete, they're like, oh yeah, like you're gonna go to a school for athletes, but like you learn how to be part of the system. Like you go to school to be to work in our sports industry, because we understand that like even if you are a star athlete, eventually you stop playing. You know what I mean? So we're like teaching you the ins and outs of like how to like maintain like the system that we've built, and it's like, so like if we just acknowledge that everyone always makes fun of like athletes for like doing like bullshit programs or whatever. It's like, well, it's like not bullshit, because like playing sports is like learning a skill.
Yeah.
If we just were like more open and like made it a little more regulated, I guess, like how you learn to like be part of that system. But yeah, because I'm also all for like just being like a lot of guys like in Illinois were like kids that have been like, well, I could have gone and played like D3 hockey and gone to some fucking school that no one's ever heard of and like gone to it for free, or I could have gone to Illinois and done my fucking done a degree that I want to at a good school and like still played hockey at like a decently high level and had fun,
Leicester City.
Leicester.
Sorry, they're not. So they're not a one-off. They're not a one-off.
So no, they're not. They have a really good team this year. I think if they could easily. I could see them
Finish
catching
it off, polish
Liverpool.
it off.
It should have been West Ham. Why can West Ham not put it together?
Because they're shitty.
I want the Hammers because like basically the Hammers had a good start to the season, and then they play Leicester is essentially like when like both of them diverged because like Leicester was like kind of like
Two roads.
are like both
here.
of these teams for real? Like it looks like the Prem like has some openings and
West
it's
Ham
like,
is the Irons, not the
No,
Hammers.
they're the
They're the
both.
Hammers. Yeah, they're both. Yeah.
Has
Oh,
Leicester,
never mind.
have they, is their budget higher than the last time they made a big run? Or no, they're just like they have a superior scouting department or coaching is good?
I have no idea. I mean, I know their manager's supposed to be decent. And, you know, the team has always kind of like maintained a certain philosophy. It just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they don't have as much money as the big money teams. They're just sort of mid level, and you know they. I think right now the most exciting mid level team are Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
And they've put together an incredible team, and the spirit in the team is really impressive, and they're always so like they're just so much fun to watch. Like it must be fantastic right now being a Wolves fan, but you know, at this point it almost does feel like Leicester's one of the bigger teams. Like they're just replacing Arsenal and you know, Man United in the top four.
Yeah, plus they also did the awesome thing of killing their billionaire owner. Well, he died in a fucking.
Died in a helicopter.
He was like leaving the game in a helicopter and it fucking blew up.
Yes.
So that was tight. What, Coda? Coda's not feeling the stream. He's not feeling streaming.
So it's about 2:30 here.
Yeah,
should
I
we get out?
need to go get some food at some point. I'm
Yeah.
I'm cratering here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna go eat at the alumni event.
Where is it?
Steal their food.
It's at the hotel. There's a Maryland hotel.
Yeah, the hotel.
Okay.
It's called-
Like, is it close to the stadium?
Yeah.
It said it was
It's right
walking
there.
stadium.
It's right
Yeah,
there.
walking
Okay.
distance. So.
Yeah, I'd say
all
so.
right. Yeah. Thanks to everybody who joined us. Thanks, Sam, for coming through.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah.
We did kind of crater because this game got so boring.
Yeah.
None of our bets came through, and it was like we said, it's just gonna be us like all like grimly looking at the TV. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just as you'd expect.
Love it. I love sports.
So good, huh?
I had a rough week. I watched the fucking Hurricanes Boston game and like the Illini game within like 2 days of each other, and I was just like,
It all turns around.
why do I
tonight.
watch
all
this shit?
turns around. It's turning around, Gabe. It's gonna turn around.
bum, 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 da, 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 da. Yeah, all right.
Okay, you get it.
Well, yeah. Thanks for everybody who joined us. Have a good enjoy. We'll see you guys Monday.
At least we tornadoed beers for Pung's Eye. That was
Yeah.
definitely
You
You
didn't
didn't send them
or
your
tried to.
Oh,
at
we're
least.
gonna put
Oh,
that video
fuck
out.
you, Sam.
We're gonna put that video out and tag him in it.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tag him.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Oh, make sure to follow Sam, District Sentinel Radio. Subscribe to his Patreon.
Oh yes, thank you.
Get a fucking haiku written about you. Yeah, all that. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.